to say you're live.
All right.
All right, so we live.
What?
All right, so we're gonna go live here. 3, 2,
Gotta turn
1.
this on.
Hold on.
There we go. We can talk.
Are we there?
We chilling.
We there. All right.
Hey.
Yeah. So I don't know which one we gonna pay attention to.
I don't know. It's gonna be
Because-
interesting.
Yeah. So if I'm going this way, I'm looking this way. So we got this joint jacked up. So I don't know if we can change that though.
Oh no.
So
First time for everything.
right, you talk to the people on YouTube. I talk to the people
Really?
on Facebook. All right.
It just be hard. It just be weird.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn that up loud. Let me turn that up loud.
So everybody can hear us loud and clear.
There we
No,
go.
you turned it
Oh, I
down.
turned it down. My bad. Turn it all the
Turn
way
it
up.
all the way up.
All right,
There
there
we
we go.
Hey everyone. Hey, y'all
What's
didn't think
happening?
that y'all was gonna see us together, right?
Hold on. Man, that joint throwing me off.
It is a little bit, but see the camera's right there though.
So we need to pull that joint up and have it.
I'm
right
looking
here.
at the camera either way.
Right.
I'm
But
looking
either
up.
way, so both of them. Let me do it like this. Wow.
But I can still see both cameras, so I'm good.
I mean, can both cameras see me? Am I looking at the
Yes.
camera right now?
You looking up, but I can tell.
But am I looking at the camera?
Yes, you are looking at the camera.
I'm looking at that camera? Or am I
Yes.
looking at this camera? Which one am I looking at?
If you look up, it looks like
Oh,
you're looking.
don't
both
pay
ways.
attention to
Do not pay
just
attention
don't pay
to
attention to
the
the
computer.
Got you.
Duh.
Got you. So if I'm looking up right here, am I looking like I'm looking
Yes,
at this joint?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so say, okay, there
That
we
was the
go.
whole purpose of the setup.
Got you. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, this is family business. This is
A recap.
I say your name. What's your name?
Oh well, Alicia.
Okay, this is cousin. This is
Fortune,
James.
by the
Okay,
way. I'm
okay.
a Fortune
She's
now.
a Fortune now, but we still rocking with the Sims crew. So
I always gonna be a Sims at the end of the day. But just, you know.
So here's the deal. We're back doing live. Most people say, how? With your busy schedule. So this one right here graduates tomorrow. So we doing it big over here. So it's like with the crazy schedules that you have, how do you do it? Well, somebody got to do it, man.
Yeah.
So it might as well be us, right? So today's, I guess, topic, right?
Yeah, topic.
Is on family business. How you even create family business. How do you even think about having a family business and the difficulties of even trying to even get to that starting point. Everyone wants to do their own thing nowadays, right?
Yeah.
You can never get a lot of people in the same room on the same wavelength sometimes, especially family. It is an afterthought sometimes. Like I always tell people, let me do this. Let me give you an example of who's who. Remember, the Waltons, right?
Yes.
Who are the Waltons?
They're famous. I know they're famous. I don't know exactly. I heard
they're
about
famous,
them,
right?
But I know they're famous. I don't know if they're famous like the Kardashian famous. Or
no. They way more.
Families,
No, they're way more famous
with their dramas and stuff like that.
Walmart. This is the Walmart plan.
Oh.
Yeah. So
gotcha.
they started out, and a lot of folks don't know. They started out from what? The garage in their house.
Mm.
So I can imagine how they started out and then how they got to where they were going, that a lot of people looked at them and said, man, the hell you talking about? Ain't nobody gonna do that. Man came up with a plan and said, yeah, we could just start taking people's goods and selling them from the garage. Then tell them, like, you just get out of the sun, you just bring them over here, we'll take a cut. You can sell the stuff out of our garage, and we'll help you out. Then they started to go further into
Warehouse.
the next step, the warehouse. And then the warehouse became the store. And then the store became another store, and then so on and so on. So no one saw the vision. And I think what happens is that when you have a problem with trying to gather people together to do one thing, the vision is not the same, or people don't understand the vision, they don't understand the goal, they don't understand the dream. So you have folks that is going to stop in their path because they like, okay, that's your vision, that's your dream, I don't understand it. You're trying to get them to understand it, but it's kind of hard for them to digest it and say, oh yeah, I understand what you talk about. So what do you feel would be something that's going to stop the family business if we're trying to get people together to do something like that?
I think the biggest thing that I noticed that would stop the family business is when everybody's not on the same page and everybody has their own dreams that they want to pursue.
Yeah.
So getting everybody on the same page, yeah, that's fine and dandy. But then what happens when, like the Walters, we talk about Walmart, where Pops died, and what happened to the rest of the family? What did they do? And how many people are really still on the board of that family?
Well, by that time, you could say that if Pops died and the cousin died, you could say at that moment in time, they've already achieved their goal. You talk about something that happens earlier in that movement, but hell, they had already achieved their goal, so everybody else could lay back and just collect the money.
So they just pretty much sold their shares and just went about their merry way. Yeah. But when we're talking earlier in the process,
what would be the
like
issue?
One of the biggest thing is if you're trying to have your kids be a part of your vision,
right?
And then they're like, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do. So I want to do X, Y, and Z. And we know how generations change and things change, and kids want to do their own thing. Now, how do you get those children on board to, okay, let's follow what mom and dad wants to do, or grandpa and grandma wants to do. So I think that's where the challenges come into play. And then also, I think another part is having family where they're at the point where they can trust each other to put in financial money into something that they believe in, and hoping that they can trust that person to build the business.
Right.
And that's another thing that I noticed that, a lot of communities tend to have a big problem with.
Right. So trust, being able to convince them that, hey, this is a great idea. But I think what it is that people can't see it through. And that's why I say you always got to have some type of, example in front of you.
Or ending.
Yeah, but I always say, look at this. Such and such was never this. Just think about it. Anyone, you can just pick anyone out of wherever. I say Shaq, because Shaq is very famous, and Shaq has a lot of hats that he wears. He's just not a basketball player. He's a police officer. He's a multi-business owner. He has a brand, and he's on TV, and people listen to him. People really listen to him and say, damn, whatever advice that he give them, they take that as great advice. So this is a guy that has so many different hats that you would say from where he's from Jersey, right? That it was probably a lot of people that counted him out, right? They counted him out because they said he's, young, he's rambunctious, he comes from a bad neighborhood, he's, single dad. I mean, grew up without his not single dad, but he grew up without his original, biological father. So they would say that he has so many things going against him that you would think that he couldn't be a success story. So I say, think about that. From where he started to now where he is, you can say he wasn't that before, but how did he get there? So that's part of telling someone or trying to convince them that, hey, trying to be some type of inspiration to them that, hey, you can get there also. And you can get there. We can also get there together if we build together, if we took the time and we came together and we built something, we can be like the Waltons, we can be like Shaq, we can be like all these other families that come together to build a business. So that's what I do. I use the example of people that have made it. And I say, look, we no different than that.
No.
We had the same plans that they had.
Yeah, but
You know?
how that goes back to these families
Mm-hmm.
that we're talking about. You're talking about the Waltons. You're talking about Samson. You're talking about Shaquille, what he did, and
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about all these people, but they all Bill Gates, Microsoft, all of these people who had a vision,
Mm-hmm.
and again, they're not really
But when you-
impose those visions on their
but a lot of
family,
times
but they kind of
well, here's what we talk about. We talk about building the family around the business. Some of these folks were self-starters and got there by themselves sometimes. I don't know. Did Bill Gates have his wife before he got to where he was?
no, he
Or
had
did she help him?
no. I
build
think
that?
it was more Bill Gates. I think it was more he had it, and
Mhm.
then when he got married, and then the kids. But then, if anything happens to him, then the kids were left with an empire.
Right.
Like they said with Samsung, and they kind of really traditional with Samsung, but with Samsung, the great grandfather was the one who started the company. Then now it's the son, and then the son had 4 children,
Mhm.
and now those children, the oldest son is the one who gets the empire, and then everybody
Right.
else is kind of
Well. Let's
with a
stop right
share.
there. Let's stop right there. Right. That's all given, right? But here's the problem that we have. We know plenty of families. We know plenty of people that have businesses right now, that have children, that have cousins, aunts, uncles, whomever, right?
Mhm.
What makes the difference between them joining the company and them not joining the company, them having something given to them and them working within the company or not? What do you think that makes up that person's decision of why not to? I mean, it's plenty of variables.
I mean, one of the variables could be just again, everybody's not the same in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have the same ideas.
Right.
So if you're talking, okay, one you maybe have out of the whole family group, maybe a cousin would be like, okay, I'm down for it, let's
Mhm.
go, and then everybody else is like, that's not what I want to do. But see, when I think of like companies, I think it's like you kind of have to be born into it in a way where that's all you really know. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times for those children
Mhm.
or those other cousins and stuff like that, that's all they know. I look at I think one of the ones my husband was watching, it was a reality show, and I think she was a singer,
Mhm.
and she had a restaurant. I'm not sure if the restaurant was in Georgia or North Carolina, South Carolina, but it was one of those reality show.
Mhm.
And the whole family was a part of this,
Mhm.
a part of her restaurant.
Well,
but,
you know,
but you could tell that it was a lot of conflict.
I feel where you're coming from.
You get what I'm
I'm
saying?
not talking about the easy way. I'm talking about the things that you and I and people like us have a issue with that we got to get over. Like everyone wants to be wealthy, right? But here's the deal: when it comes to being wealthy, they say, "Yeah, I want to be wealthy," but then when you lay out a plan and you say, "This is what you have to do to become wealthy," people start backing up and saying, "Oh, no,
that's too much work.
That's too much work. I want to be wealthy, but I ain't trying to do that." Or they can't see their vision is just not that far reaching.
That's something that we as a people have to get over. And I mean, we as in we have the people have to get over, because a lot of times in different generations, we think that things it's supposed to be given to us and we're not supposed to earn it. And
well, that's why we have to make sure that we keep that type of conversation going, that from top to the bottom and passing on to no, everyone has to work for it. And even say like if you in that family and you was given that, that's on you to keep it. So you gonna blow your whole family's fortune?
Some people do. I mean, there have been people who have done that now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna,
Mm-hmm.
see, those things. I mean, it has happened where reality TV stars and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
their family has a whole $1 billion fortune, and the kids just blow right through it.
So I want to back all the way up, because the thing that we talk about right now is how can we kind of brainstorm right now to see a new swell of families being able to put their differences to the side and say, okay, you have this particular gift. Being able to sit down, talk to everyone in your family and say, look, I sound crazy, but here's my proposition. We all are talented in our different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're the one that went to college for 10 years, you're the one that dropped out in 8th grade, you're the one that's been hustling all your life, you're the one that just can't get it right. Like everything you touch, it just seems like it just don't work. I would say that person just ain't found what they good at just yet. Yeah. But as a family, someone being able to step up in each prospective family and say, look, at the end of the day, we're going to need something for each family, whether you're a Jones, whether you're a Sims, whether you're a Johnson, whether you're a Parker, Porter, whether you're a Green, whether you, whomever, you want to leave a legacy for your kids. You want to leave a legacy for your family. So when you are gone, that makes it a little bit easier for your family to keep moving on. And right now, look how we're looking right now. Think about what we are looking at in the next couple of years as far as land ownership is concerned, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to jump on that right after this. But if you don't own something, if you don't have control over something, mm-hmm. then you may be stuck in a mode where you may be a renter forever. You may be stuck in a mode where you just don't own anything. So you can't take what you own and use it to leverage and have some type of power. And at the same time, when you don't have ownership, you are limited. You're limited to things that you can do. So say like my house, right? Being that I own the house, I can do whatever. I can paint the walls green if I want. I can redo the floors. I can do whatever. I can reimagine what I want to do with the space at any moment, at any time. I remember when I didn't own, they come around and they looking at what you're doing. And I used to be that type of tenant where, hey, you ain't got to worry about nothing. We can make a deal. Anything that need to be fixed, I got it. So I rented so much that I understood the nature of these people. Oh, if you do this or if this is broke, oh, we're going to talk about, kicking you out. Slumlords, we'll kick you out if this ain't. So I said, you know what? You ain't got to worry about it. I will fix any and everything so we won't have a problem. And it would, normally speaking, come out of my pocket all the time. But that's what I had to do in my cases because I had like slumlords. But back to what we were saying about ownership and back to what we were saying about getting your family on the same track, that you want something, that you want to own something.
So when I think about owning something, I think of something that's going to bring equity over time. And usually what we already understood, that is property and, some type of
I'm going to interrupt you. Mm-hmm. What the hell is equity over time? Can you the family member, you have to let the other family members know what in the world that means. Equity, because you can explain that to them and they like,
because you wanted to build, you wanted to build over time. You wanted to give.
Please break it down.
So, for instance, a car doesn't bring equity. A car, all it does is.
What is equity?
You give me a headache.
No. Some people don't know what you're talking about.
Equity is like something that brings value, that brings money, and you can actually you can either take out another loan on it, or you can actually, if you decide to sell it, it will actually increase in value. That's what I think of equity.
Okay.
So when I think of terms of equity, I think of like land, house, something that's going to bring a return back.
Those are called assets.
Assets, yes. So I think of that. A car, not so much. A car is actually a debt. It loses value once you drive it off the lot. So
not all. So you
most
see, when
cars.
People,
so when the car does get driven off the lot, it does lose value. It's not as much as you paid for it when you get it. Unless it's an antique car.
You know why I'm going to say no?
Why?
Is because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So at any moment, I don't care what Kelly Blue Book say. I don't care what your neighbor say. I don't care what. No, I don't care what anybody say. If you do that car right, and if you do other things to that car, somebody's gonna look at that car and say, "Man, that's valued a certain amount of money, and they're willing to pay for it." So when you're talking about equity and talk about natural equity and how equity will grow, remember you have the power to increase the equity on any stage. When you're working for someone, how do you improve your equity? You go to school.
Yes.
You learn more.
Yes.
So what we talk about is building value, right?
But you also get experience.
Yeah,
that time
we're building value. Yes. So with a car, if I put some 5-star rims on that, I could probably go to the hood and sell that joint for way more than what the dealership's gonna give me. So remember, we have to control that equity. We can't just let the equity sit.
But I still don't think a car.
We can add value to just about anything.
But I don't think a car. I think nowadays, except the luxury, except those older cars.
It's one of those things that a lot of people say. No, it's one of those things that a lot of people say. Once you drive it off the lot,
it does lose value. It does.
Again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You can't go by these little isms. If you live by these isms, you're gonna be short every day. Because again,
okay, you just hitting the capitalism thing. Like it's literally like.
Check this out. This piece of art back here, right, is an original. Bought it for what? $250, $500, I think, years ago from this artist, right? Art now is subjective, and at the same time, you can't tell me how much this thing is worth. If I say it's $1 million, it's a damn $1 million. You know why? It's an original from a great artist. And I set the tone for this.
But this would be $1 million. Yes.
Yeah, I set the tone. So when we start talking about business and trying to convince your youngin, my youngin, everybody else's youngins of why you should be in business with your family, why you should grow this thing, then we have to set the expectations so high for them so they can understand, wow, so you mean to tell me our business can be bigger, grow more than, yeah.
But then here's the other question I have for you about that. How do you get family members who are not as big-minded, as wide, or as open to get on the bandwagon? Like you said, I could literally, you can have an elder, because I use elders, but elders to sit and say, okay, we're doing this, but you really got the young hotheads that are
equity building. You know why? Everybody's not the same. You got the book smart person, you got the street smart person, you got a person that's just got.
They all
hold on. They all got great common sense. They have all of these things that they have, right? That they can do. You tap into what? What do you tap into a person to make them feel like they have value?
Money.
No,
I don't know.
You tap into their strength. That's it.
You tap into their strength, but they're all
No. You tap into their strength because you know what? You give every last one of them a position and a job.
And then one who feels in more position than the other.
You make them feel that each position that they're in is just as important as the next.
Because I think, like, when I think of that, I think about that.
If we all rowing this boat, and the oar 5 and 7 drops out, it's gonna be very hard for the rest of us because we're in sync. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, or we might go 1, 3, 5, 7. So if we're out of sync, we gotta let them know they're just as important to row this damn boat as the next.
And I always say, you always
put
get
them
this
in
conflict.
position. There's no conflict if you talk about their strengths. There's no conflict.
So what happens when you get one person who's more power than the other? Because you always in the family,
strength.
And not only
Strength.
in family,
That's
you
it.
have people who wants to be. I feel I'm this,
Hey,
and I should be
again,
this, and why do I have to be here?
Again,
and that person's over there.
There's strengths. That jealousy, that envy gotta go. Is what you're good at.
And that's the
Put
biggest
your
thing
strengths.
with families. You're dealing with a lot of, and that's in our community.
But that's
alone,
what I'm
we deal with
saying.
a lot of that.
That's what I'm saying. This is the thing that we have to deal with, right? We have to deal with what you're talking about. We have to deal with what I'm talking about. But I say, if you play towards your strength and you say, hey, with what you do, this is a value. You're valuable. Man, I don't know that math, man. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to do this. What does that dude's strength? He taught.
Get the gift of gab.
He taught. All you gotta do is just talk. That's it, nephew. I just gotta talk. That's it. You just talk. So he's gonna be on marketing. He's gonna be the street team. So you gotta find everybody's value and what they are good at. Mm-hmm. That way they're not left out. The other parts of it, if I'm the brains of the situation, I'll hire out. I hire those other areas that need to be filled. But remember, we was talking about stocks. Them stocks are gonna be within the family.
Yeah, we talk about
they're going to be within the family. Yeah, the shares are going to be within the family. They're doing their part, but you just need them to add on, And over time, they will probably learn that position a little bit better over time. But as long as they feel that they're included, shit, we gonna keep going.
Okay.
So convincing that person that your strength is needed, because like I said, they may not have the passion that I have. They may not have the passion you have, but just bring them in. Find a seat for them. Bring them in, get them on the boat. As long as you can get them on the boat, then we can start building, because then they'll start saying like, wow, this is ours. The other thing, show and prove. If you say, and we're going to go into real estate, we say, look, we all need to pitch in because I just bought some land the other day, right? Mm-hmm. I bought, what is that, a quarter acre of land the other day for under $5,000. What can you do with a quarter acre?
A lot.
A lot. So if I say, look, what you doing in your life right now? Well, I ain't doing too much or whatever. How about I pay you for coming in and figuring out what we need to do with that land? What is your ideas? Let's all sit down and try to brainstorm of what we could do with that land. I own it. We ain't got nothing else other than trying to build off of what we can do with that land. Mm-hmm. What if you say, man, turn it into a parking lot? Say, you might be right. We turn it into a parking lot. But now after we turn it into a parking lot, where's it located, nephew? Oh, it's located right near like a famous, area that most people go. Turn it into a parking ride. Start thinking. Mm-hmm. Now we got a parking lot that's fulfilling a need for the community, and uncle's there collecting the money, doing something.
Every time, right.
Yeah. But we have to allow everyone in the family to get into the business, get into a business that's going to have more legs and arms. Now I got a couple of companies, right?
Yes,
but not everyone is going to be a writer. Not everyone's going to be with the herbs. Not everyone is going to do heating and AC. Not everyone's going to do physical therapy. Not everyone's going to do, therapy, mental health. Not everyone's going to do that. But somewhere in the mix, we can put you in there, But as long as we can build something as a family, like I said, not everyone's going to get on those businesses. But hell, if we buy land and we say, now everyone come together and let's see what we can do to build on this land. What is an idea that you may have to build on this land? And this is going to stay within the family.
In the family, yeah.
But it has to be something that's going to make us money first, you know? So if we all can agree on that, now we can step into the bigger pictures, the bigger, situations where now it's going to call for a little bit more education. It may call for more training. We get into that and say, no problem.
Yeah.
Meet with me every Saturday, and I'm going to teach you
how to do
just from me.
Yeah.
You ain't got to go to school for it. I've done all of that. I can teach you how to run this company. I can teach you to go out there and to get referrals and bring people in. And you can make money that way. And then you do the same and you say, hey, our company's already built. It's just like now having what we have, probably a lot of stock of lemon balm, right? So we have a lot of stock of lemon balm and say, look, we need to sell it all.
Yeah,
right?
Go dry it and all of that stuff, yeah.
Then we have the family go out and pitch it. There's someone in the family loves to sell things, it's there. If you need it, just, start talking to people and then push them towards the website, push them towards this, work ain't hard when you really think about it.
It's not
work
hard.
Is not hard.
But they say if you love to do something, you never work a day in your life.
Right.
So
but then we have to find the love in the family members. Like, you may have a family member working a job that hates it. And you have something that's available for them that they can just walk into. But you never know. And that's the other thing, communication.
That's the biggest
thing.
Communication.
How often do we, and we are all
guilty of it.
How often do we check in on each other? Do we even have each other's phone numbers, nowadays?
Not often.
This is the first time that she's come to Georgia, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the first time that she's come to Georgia, and we've done this right here next to each other. We've always been from DC to Georgia.
Yep, all day.
But this is the first time that we were able to sit down, because we did it when I was back in DC, right? Yeah.
Did it?
I think we did.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. I think we did.
Nah.
I could have sworn we didn't go online when I was back home.
No. After you got back home, then we went on. So it was after you got back down here, then we went on live that time. But other than that, we haven't been together like this conversation.
So now we got to come up with some solutions, because I'm sure you have plenty of people out there that may have a job and may have family and say, man, you know what? I can put this particular family member in this position, or I have a company, I'm trying to grow my company. I need all hands on deck. But then your family looking at you like,
I can't take that risk. I still got electric, water, rent, mortgage, plus kids.
Right.
And you want me to uproot what?
So, I ain't telling you to uproot nothing.
So that's what people like.
Right.
That's like the things that will come about. They're like, you want me to do what?
Add on and see how you can grow the company.
Yeah, exactly. So it's different, but that's where that communication comes into.
But then the company becomes your company too. We all share in building something together. I think culturally, we all are like this. I got it out of the mud. I did it myself. We have a chip on our shoulder where we feel we have to do it all on our own. We don't want someone else to help us. So that's the big thing, is being able to get that chip off your shoulder.
But also with that, getting that chip off your shoulder is trusting family, because most people would trust somebody outside than their own family. And not to say I do or don't understand, but it's a lot of people now, and the way things are now, you would think that you could trust your family, but a lot of people are like, no, I don't even trust. As far as I could throw them, I'd rather take a stranger, at least, and they would do the job, because I seen people. I know a lady who has a actual family daycare, and she
Mhm.
would rather hire, other people than to hire her own children.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, like, I've seen, different things and experienced different things, and it's like, wow, you know, it's definitely a big trust thing when it comes to
So
families.
that's another layer of problem solving there in order to even get to that point. So we're saying it would be nice for us to get all for us all to get together as
Together, yeah,
family
exactly.
to build something for each other and for our family. But those are still some hurdles that we have to get over
Mhm.
before we get there. Now, again, we have family like check out our family on a mental health issue tip. We got you. She's gonna graduate. I'm almost about to graduate again.
Hey, I'm getting ready to do it
For
again.
so we got therapists in the house, so we can still be able to speak towards that to help the family
To
members
help
to
to
get
get
over
over
it.
it, yeah.
Because we take that trauma everywhere. We take it into relationships, friendships, the workforce.
Just
We
about everywhere.
yeah we get
Kids.
it so
Yeah, that goes
it
everywhere.
spreads everywhere. So
Yeah.
if we learn how to attack that problem first, then we'll get a little further along. But
Mhm.
the convincing part, we need to see further past what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Compare yourself to the Waltons, compare yourself to the Shacks, compare yourself to all of these people that have actually made it and say, what did it take for them to get there? Yeah, it's going to be some hard work, but can we do it?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can do it.
We can.
know?
But I do feel like, because we're talking about this now, I do feel like we're behind, because this is something we were supposed to have been doing generations ago, and I feel like now, because I always hear about the generational wealth,
Right.
and everybody's talking about traumas and all these things that are actually being brought to light, but
Right.
it's like I feel like we're still behind, and I mean behind like towards other families and other cultures,
Okay.
and demographic wise and all of that. I still feel we are behind, because it's like, what took us so long to get to this point?
Right.
And now, if you want to, I mean, not to be funny, but now those other dynamics, those other groups are now moving on to something totally different, and it's like we're always behind the eight ball. We're still trying to catch up. They're going forward, we're trying to catch up.
So now we are still trying to find solutions to these particular problems. Right?
Exactly.
So there's one solution. Don't call me crazy, and you gotta be out of your mind, out of this world, to think this way, right? So part of the scripture is telling you to set yourself in heaven all at once, right? How do we set ourselves into heaven all at once? Just like that, right? They say the renewing of your mind, right? When you renew your mind, the step of renewing your mind is just having that thought. The one thought that you want changed. That's just the beginning. Don't say, oh, dang, I had the thought. Having a thought is enough to begin with, that you want change, right? That's for one. Okay. You start making the steps towards it, but don't ever think that, because somebody made that step that they're perfect. No one's perfect, right? But you're making those steps to get there. So I say, set yourself in heaven all at once by just saying this: I can. It's gonna happen. I can do it. That's it. And don't ever expect less. Do this until the wheels fall off. Say, I'm going to make sure that this happens. I don't care if you gotta shoot a fair one with your family member to get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way. Okay. But your mindset is on being successful. When you set yourself in heaven all at once, you already have now drawn a picture of where you want to be. You visualize where you want to be in life. When you visualize where you want to be in life, excuses out the window. Okay. Because your mind should be set on your goal, right? Once you do that, you affect the next person. Think about this. Think about how you're gonna get there. It may not be an easy road, but think about how you're gonna get there. Think about where you want to be in life, if it's 5 years, if it's 10 years. But here's the beauty of it. Everyone feels like they by themselves. No man is his own, is his own island. You can't be just the only person doing it.
That was part of the isms that we've been talking about. And when we talk about the isms, I say it's embedded in us because.
But
hold on,
I hear you. Keep going.
It's embedded in us because it's been generational, saying, "Oh, you do it by yourself." Or you're alone by yourself, and the whole dynamics of family over time, because I know way back when it was very close knit, right. But over time things started to break apart due to the isms, and now we're literally, it's like, well, I can do it by myself. I don't need nobody. I made it here. I did it by myself, and I don't need nobody else to help me.
Ain't that the trend?
That is the trend. Like literally, that is the thing. So it's like.
So now what you have to do, you have to erase that mindset.
You do.
You have to work hard to erase that mindset and say, yes, I'll humble myself. This is my family. I'll take the help from my family. And my family going to help me, I'm going to help them, because two hands are better than one, right?
Yep.
So you start getting on that path of saying, okay, I'm going to help them. They're going to help me. We're going to really start building this thing.
We got to get this up and go.
But it first starts with the one. There's always one person in the family that got it. That's ready and willing to do the work to get it done.
You do have that one person in the family who's like, okay, I'm ready to go. I can get this done. This is really bothering me, y'all. So I'm gonna put my glasses away. You have that one person who's like, yes, I'm ready to go. Let's do it. And they will start. They take the action. They don't take the plan, and they will actually put it into action. And then you have some family members who are very good and be like, okay, well, you got it up and going. Let me take part of it, and I'll take it to the moon.
Right.
And you do have some family members like that too, but then you have some family members who are just not.
Yeah. So let's concentrate for one. Concentrate on all positive. We already know the negative. We are knee deep in it. We are very,
up to here.
We knee deep in the negative. We understand it. That is our other half. We know it just like we know ourselves. Let's start concentrating on where could we be.
If we can,
and stop saying what happened and if and all of that. Start talking in the positive. Start talking in where we're going.
If we can get something,
if ain't no ifs, there's no ifs. When is a little bit better. When better.
When you get to that point and you're moving forward and you get, it can be something that it's easy for other generations or other people as a family to take on.
No, we talk about now.
Okay.
See, when you start talking at others, talk about what it used to. We talk about now. We can't wait for.
So what the family can do, the ones who are actually in the midst of it, they could take it further, and then they could just shoot it to the moon.
Yeah.
But it's possible to do that. It's very well possible to do that when you have everybody together listening, and that's including all parties that are participating in this business.
Now I'm going to break
egos
this
have
down.
to be put to the side.
Now, if you can't find family that's kin folks and skin folk, what you gonna do? If that don't work out, you still gonna grow your business family. Period. You still gonna have to grow your business family. Period. Because you want to leave a legacy. So you still gonna have to. That shouldn't stop. Because there's a lot of people out here that have businesses, and not one of their family members have ever bought one of their products, have never ever shouted them out, never ever even taken the time to say, hey, let me go ahead and tell somebody else about this, right?
Well, actually,
and a lot of times that breaks people from ever doing anything else. But the strong will say, you know what, I ain't worried about that because I'm looking at the people that will support me, and I'm going further, and it's still going to reach further and do more without even paying attention to that.
Well, there is, and I have to do a shout out to her if she ever sees this, but there's this young lady on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
who has the lip changing oil, and I'm so mad because I hope she patented it, because now there are other companies out here who are trying to take her her idea.
Oh, they doing it with the quickness.
Yeah, so she has the lip changing oil, and if anybody who's seen this probably know who I'm talking about. And her family, her whole family, they had to move out of their small apartment into a bigger spot to accommodate this young lady's dream. And they all support her. They all, I mean, even down to grandparents.
That's good.
Everybody, and the thing is that I think they're from a Latino culture, because they're very much very tight.
Family is family,
and they're very tight with each other, and they do a lot of amazing things. And I actually seen that at work, where auntie's helping, mom is helping, supporting, grandma and grandpa are packing, and
so I'm going to interrupt you again.
And it can be done.
Family is family. So we see families supporting folks on all they were supporting her
all everywhere around,
right? Yeah. But what we're trying to do is say, for those who are not, don't care if you blue, yellow, green, white, or black, but the steps to getting it done.
They took the steps to get it done.
Right. The steps to getting it done should be spoken about. You know, we should speak about what are the steps. And a lot of times some steps are what? Mental.
Yeah, mental.
A whole lot of it is
mental. Of it. And, you know, surprisingly, because she's young, but her elders are actually listening to her, because they don't know what it is.
I think they just kind of. I think they know. They know that it's a hit.
It's a hit, but that's about it. But they don't know like the whole work. So they just, I'm supporting my granddaughter. Or I'm supporting this family member.
Sometimes that's all you need is that support. That's it.
That one little thing that they just doing, packing the material.
Hey, they doing way more than a lot of people did. What are you talking about?
They just packing and shipping it off, and I'm like, yo, that's a lot.
I've had where I had an order. There was over 4,000 tea bags, right? And I asked somebody to come help. They did 50 bags. I said, I got 4,000. Thanks for I ain't trying to be ungrateful, but when you look at the scope, wow.
That's a big help.
I mean, but you know,
that's a big help.
You would still need more hands on the job, you know. So what she has is a great support team. She has a lot of people and a lot of hands in there. So the thing is, yes, you have a business. How do you get the people that
on board
to help you build the business?
I think usually, so from seeing her experience, I think sometimes it has to be shown. You know, is a lot of people are not very visual.
They're looking at the end.
Yeah,
but what about the hustle in between?
Some people don't see that. That's the only thing. Some people don't see that part. They only see the end.
So do you think they're gonna jump on board after the fact?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you no.
I say
you know why? I put out what? Books that you can count online, but works that I've actually had my hands on is in the thousands.
Yes.
Now, can I say I can count on my hand that I know people personally that always support everything I do? I know those folks. But I'm talking about that groundswell like this girl is getting. That groundswell of all of those people helping her to push her up to get there. A lot of people don't get that. How can they get that groundswell of people in the beginning and not come in the end and say, "Oh yeah," but believe it or not, in the beginning, you out there like they see you,
but it didn't start hitting until they started getting a whole bunch of orders in, and then they were like, okay, this is something serious, and then they started putting their hands in it, and then it just took off from there. That's why I said it's at the end goal that people really see. So not so much the end of like the success, it's more of like as it's starting to grow.
So that would mean that the person on the other end shouldn't take nothing by it neither. All of you business owners, don't take nothing by it. That they don't help you in the beginning, but when you start to glow, get that glow, they gonna come. They're gonna start coming.
Yeah.
They're gonna start helping.
Because let's say, like, if you have a vision or something, people don't necessarily see that vision until you start getting it up and going, and you just getting that start. You know what I'm talking about? You just, and then they starting to see, and then
that goes back to you and your equity.
Yeah.
Okay, so the language barrier. So sometimes people don't understand what you're doing.
They don't.
So you got to be able to show what you're doing.
Well, the show me state.
What about if you already have the stuff and it's shown? You show it all the time.
Example, you're the publisher, Sims Publishing. You'll start getting family members that come in.
Here's the problem too.
Oh God.
You know what? I don't care what you say, right? I don't care what you say about me. Just get my damn name right. This is the problem, y'all. This is a big problem. I deal with it with some folks. I deal with the folks that are close to me. Get the name right.
Sims Publishing.
Sims Books Publishing Corporation. Get the name right.
It is a long name.
Get the name right.
I know it's because it's my name. Well, my previous name. But.
So you're saying that there's the miscommunication there because they can't remember.
A lot
it's
of
something
times.
They can't remember.
Some of they can't remember, or sometimes they just don't. Like I said, as you were starting to build your company,
right?
And like I said, when I came about, and I was like, "Yo, we got this. What?"
You like, cuz you got two books. I seen two books. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was excited. Then when I go back and I'm looking at it, it's like 30-something books on there. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Rewind. Wait a minute. Last time I looked, it was like 2 books. Then it jumped to 5. Now we're to 20. And I think we're just like 30, 35 books on there. And I was like, what happened over the last...
Now I'm learning something. So business-wise, you got to have enough for them to remember you by also.
Yeah.
They got to have the drive to do it for one.
Yeah.
The family ain't going to get together just because. You would wish that they would. Mm-hmm. They just got to have the drive, and they have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, see it to believe it, yes. And also, like I said, like with the young lady, as she started to get the feedback from people, that's when families started to like, okay, we're putting our hands in it more.
Right.
And now they're going to invest more. And that's where that investment comes in at. That's where okay, well, I see this, and I know if I do this, then it's going to help you out. So now we get more investment. I'm going to invest into you because you have produced.
Right.
Literally, you have produced everything that you wanted. So I'm like, okay, I want a piece of that pie now.
Right.
And that's the way it is. It's literally as people start to boom into their business, their family members are like, okay, what can I do to help? Or what can I do to be a part of? What can I do to do this? What can I do to do that? And that's when you started seeing that.
I had an example, right? Crazy example, but I had to do it because I had to figure out what was going on, right? I had my uncle call a family meeting, right?
Oh, Lord.
So my uncle was a senior family member at that time, and God rest his soul.
This is not on the same side, by the way.
So I had him call a meeting. So it's kind of like we did it on purpose because they would listen to him. So he called a meeting, and then I just said, "Surprise! It's me." I called the meeting. So everybody was like, "Oh hell." Like, okay, what are you talking about?
Oh God.
Now the problem is, this happens a lot when you have distance between families, right?
You do.
They don't know what you're doing. For all they know, you robbing banks, you robbing, trains and stuff like that. They have no idea.
Robberies and carjacking.
Right.
And stuff.
They have no idea what you're doing. They say, I think it was in school last time I checked, but I don't know what the hell he's doing now. I have no idea. Yep. So that's the communication part. So as we are speaking, we're breaking down some of these isms and some of these problems that we have before we even can go to family and say, join my business. They be like, the hell you talking about?
But nigga, where you been
Right,
first?
where
That's
you
the first
been?
thing to be like, where you been? What? Huh?
So
I've been here.
yeah, man. So I tried to bring them on, and I try to bring them on multiple levels. So I kind of threw a whole lot of stuff at them at one time, and then I was like, well, hell, pick and choose. What do you want? You know,
Mm-hmm.
we all need land, we all need homes.
Yeah.
So I started in on that. I said, look, invest in this, do this because someone else taught me. So now I'm teaching you. I was doubtful. I'm like, yeah, until it happened. The show me state. I'll wait and see if this joint happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it happens. So I'm trying to get them on board. So it's kind of like we wasn't speaking the same language. I almost felt a certain way at first, but then I said, you know what? That's my job to do better, do more for them to actually see what it is. Like, I'm gonna take you down to where our land is, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually see it and be like, oh, all this, yeah, right there, all this shit. Once it get cleared out, then
that's a
but
whole
all it is right here. All this. So it is part of showing improvement so folks can understand. The other thing, proximity. If they can't touch it and feel it, they don't understand. It doesn't exist.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
So
right.
I remember one year I was going to New York. So I was at my cousin's house and I brought all my books. And my uncle was just like, he flipping through them. He's like, damn, you did this? I'm like, yeah. I said, we're going to New York. We're going to the book show in New York. So he was like, wow, damn. Then my friend was like, damn, you said you was doing this, but I see him now.
I didn't think, that's all you was doing. That's what that goes back
to. I see him now.
Seeing is actually believing, and it's crazy because that's the way our minds and a lot of people's minds work. It's like, okay, you say you're gonna do this, but like any other people have said they want to do X, Y, and Z and never do it. So when they see somebody that actually does that one thing, they're shocked. And for me, it's not shocking to me. If somebody said they're gonna do something, I would take their word for it that they're actually gonna do it. Yeah. And now, no matter how long it takes, it might take them a year, it might take them 2 years, it might take them 3, but best believe it's gonna be done. So
another jewel that we have to drop. The front runner of the family, or the one that has the business that want to bring people together, you're gonna have to show and prove a little bit more. You're gonna have to go out a little bit more for the family to understand what you're doing. You gotta show and prove. That's one thing that I just gotta, what you was telling me, I said, oh damn, that's why. They're like, we don't know what you're doing.
They don't. They're like, where you been?
Yeah.
They were like, literally, where have you been?
So communication is key. Communication is key to breaking down those walls and start to build and try to get over the hump of the resistance that you're going to get with your family, trying to bring them into the fold to say, hey, let's work together. Okay, so now we breaking down the mental walls. We breaking down the belief. How I'm gonna believe you unless I see it. So we got to gain their confidence too. Just like if we're selling to a regular customer, we have to get their confidence in us, so they understand that we know what we're doing. They understand that they know that we know what we're doing, and we can give them something of good use.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense. So again, when I say we have to overdo it in a sense to show them like this is very important, we have to still figure out a way to convince them that this right here is very important.
It's important.
So how do we bring them up to speed for 2024 in letting them know how serious it is as a family unit to get stuff together?
That's where it becomes hard because families have been broken apart for so long. and it's hard. That's why I said family reunions are not just family reunions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a time to meet with everybody, to get to know who and who's coming into and who is part of the family, because those are the times where you can discuss family meetings, where you have the elders. And actually, honestly, even what I have learned over the past month, 2 months, is that's why you have circle meetings, because you have the elders sitting in front and everybody else, the rest of the family, sitting in a circle, and they are having conversations about the family and where the family should go. A lot of times in a lot of communities.
Well, what if they don't have that?
But that's where,
like
if you don't have the elders,
the planning elders pass.
If all the
but the other elders, they not.
But they still have elders, because you have elders within just the cousins.
Okay.
And people forget that the extended family. So everybody forgets that elders don't only extend to mom, grandma. It extends to great aunts, great uncles, anybody who's older than, or has the idea or the wisdom. And I say wisdom because wisdom doesn't always mean age. Wisdom could just be somebody who's just has the not sense, but the wisdom to, guide the family in the right direction.
So that means you just gotta search for those people. Because I know in my immediate family, I think all of the elders have kind of passed. And then on the other side of the family, we don't know them.
We don't know them.
So we gotta find out who they are.
We still don't know who our elders are.
Yeah,
I think we only know one. Maybe that's
a couple.
Katrina.
A couple.
Katrina's the oldest.
Well, Katrina, and then some other folks, but we won't talk to nobody.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't have
that's the thing.
constant communication. So then that way we can know what type of time they on. Like, it's crazy where I see some folks and they be like, man, I was thinking about writing a book. And that's family, and be like,
we have a publishing company.
Yeah, I can't really be like, oh, you should know, because they don't know.
Because they don't. Right. And that's the thing. And I really do feel bad sometimes, because I be sitting there and I do hear from other family or extended family members, or, even in-laws and all of that. And I sit there and they be like, oh yeah, I want to write this article, or I want to do this, I want to do that. And I sit there and be like, my family has a whole publishing company, right?
Right.
Like, I sit there and just look at them just like this.
A full service publishing company.
Full service publishing company.
So that means if you want your books printed, we can print them. We can do it all. You don't have to even use Amazon if you don't want to. You want to sell them out of the trunk of your car. You want to sell them at your next church meeting. We can provide that for you. And
exactly.
Here's the other selling point that me and one of my new marketing team members had discussed. A lot of us, we are in the book business. So we have people that have worked and are working for other publishers, but they still come in and they work with us too. So we discussed one thing. She said, I don't know where my books are selling. Have no clue. This lady has been number 1 in 5 categories on Amazon. But she has no way of finding out what her sales are, where her books are being sold, have no clue. But she's been 5 times number 1 on Amazon in 5 different categories. Problem is, her publisher will not give her background control.
Wow.
So she could sell 1,000 books, she would have no idea.
Wow.
Because the publisher is not being forward and not showing her, hey, these are how many books you're selling. And they're actually, in actuality, breaking the law. Because if ownership is key, copyright gives you ownership. Okay. Publishing gives you selling ownership, that you can take it and you can sell it. So no one can sell the copyrighted material without owning it. So now she has to give up ownership of her copyright in order for them to be able to sell the book. So she just shorted herself twice.
Wow.
She doesn't have her own copyright, and she doesn't have the power to sell and make money off of her own book. She gave it away.
Oh
So the selling
no.
point in our publishing company is that you own your own copyright and you also have control over the sales.
Sales. You have control over everything.
Money comes straight to you. You get the back end. That means that we have created a company within the company. You know the umbrella?
Mm-hmm.
We got the umbrella. We got all these companies up under this one umbrella.
Mm.
That's how we make it a powerhouse company, is that everyone has their own.
Wow.
So that's a great selling point for my company, is that when you come to my company, you have your own. You got the back end, where everything is. And if you don't, we teach you. We go through the steps and say, okay, this is how you get to the back end. This is what you do. So
this
then
is
that
what
way,
you need.
yeah.
Da, 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 da.
So you can control your own destiny.
Yep.
And at any point, if you say, hey, I try to order it on Amazon, but these jokers taking forever. They saying my book ain't gonna be available until you get to that last page and you look at it and you say, no, I need my books by next week. They talking about the end of the month. Hey, Sims, I need my books faster. No problem. How many books you need? All right, let me go call my printer. We'll get that done, and I'm gonna tell you how much per book. And per book cost, we're talking about a couple of dollars. A couple of dollars per book.
Compared to some of these places, because I'm an avid reader, as you are right now. I read a lot. Like I read sci-fi.
Mhm.
I read. I haven't read anything really like non-fictional.
Mhm.
But I do read a lot of the fantasies and
Mhm.
things like that. And I know, like, a lot of times the authors, they have like trilogies and things like that, and
Sure.
it does take a long time for those books to come out.
Mhm.
And I know they struggle
Mhm.
with getting, especially through other vendors,
Mhm.
not to be named, but you named one of them,
Mhm.
and I know it could be a little bit of a hard time.
Yep.
To try to get those books out, and especially when there's not that many in the series.
Right. And the other thing that just came to mind, right? We do a lot of work overseas too, right? So when I look at
You mentioned overseas.
Yeah. When I look at how the books are being sold and how the books are being sold and then spoken of, reviews are big, right?
Yes,
so a lot of
they
people
are.
say, hey, do a review here, do a review there. We're so diverse that we don't have to worry about one line. So Amazon be one line, Barnes and Noble one line, Books a Million one line. We don't have to really worry about
really goes
that. Okay, bam, on
lines.
Barnes and Nobles we got no reviews because we're in Africa selling 1,400 books.
So
or we're in Australia selling
yeah.
70 books to a book reading club or whatever.
Yeah.
Or we just went to China and they just got 170 books in China. Or now they're making that space. So when I think about it, if you want to be in all of them spaces, then you have to be in them spaces. Like this space right here with Facebook and people that we know. It would be nice to see somebody have one of our books instead of talking about everybody else's books.
Yeah.
And have one of our books up and say, you know what? I just read this joint. This is better than such and such book. You feel me?
Yeah.
But we have so many different types of books, different genres of books.
I think
that are mean, that are tight. So we have a lot of genres.
5 different genres.
We got a couple, but we got some heavy hitters.
Yeah, we do.
We have. Let me tell you like this.
Quite a few.
We have some folks that have worked 6-figure jobs, that have taken off their 6-figure jobs, and all they do is sell their books.
That's it.
We have the likes of a retired engineer that's the voice of the Chicago Cubs.
Yep.
And he's the voice of the Chicago Cubs, and we've done his book. We have the likes of a political writer, Michael C. Anderson, we're working on number 5.
Yep.
We have 4 books down. Number 5 is actually finished. So we're doing the book launch right now. But in that space, nobody can touch him.
No.
Nobody can touch him in that space.
No.
So he's
'Cause his
really
work is
doing
unique.
numbers.
Yeah.
He's doing numbers. So it's geared a little bit towards the millennials, but it's that history that you
That
need to
needs to be
read.
happen. Yeah.
And it needs to be read from that standpoint. I'll give you an example. When we first started working with him, he said, "Look, is there a book or a style of book that you won't do?" I said, "As long as it's not Mein Kampf 2.0 or some other crazy book, then I'm with it." I said, "So I just don't want it to be that type of hate speech and stuff like that."
Yeah,
right?
nothing
Nothing negative. It got to be on the up and up. But he said, "What I'm going to do is I want to work with you." So I started reading this book and I said, "Oh, damn. It's not what the news say. This is from the horse's mouth."
Yep.
This is what he's saying in his book is basically straight up and down. This is my mindset as a older white male. And he writes it from that standpoint. And you got to look at it and you like, oh, damn. That's what they think. Here's a book called Tribalism, right? And on each side, there's a blue face
and then there's a red face. Yep, I saw that.
And this is what they think. This is not factual true, but this is what they think. They think that small town people, city people are liberal, small town people are conservative. City people are more what he would say, I guess LGBT more, LGBT less, right? City people are more non-religious, and country people
are more religious. Yeah, they are.
The red, what you would call the right, is more religious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, stop. If you looked at a group historically, Black Baptists are very religious, and they on the left. But this is something that he says that this is their mindset. They think this way. So I said, damn, you're giving us the conservative mindset and you're giving us the progressive or the left.
Yeah.
So the book's a banger because it gives you that history, but then it gives you the mindset of this particular man.
Yeah.
This is how they think.
Yeah.
So when you have to try to understand a person, you got to understand how they think.
Yeah, you do. You really have to. So when in my studies, and I think in your studies, as you're getting further into your studies, you start to develop what we call theories, all these theories. And within these theories, you start to develop your own way of thinking. And within that own way of thinking, then you start to learn other people's perceptions.
Yeah.
And the way other people think because of these theories that we have been taught. And that's why I say you always have to look at things transparent and never just, jump to your own conclusion. You have to see things, even though if it doesn't make sense to your values, your beliefs, you still have to see it from that point of view.
Right. And that's part of what you're talking about is gaining knowledge, the learning part, the teaching part, the educational part of anything that you do in life.
Anything that you do in life.
So that's just
everything
like what is it when you go to orientation? You go into a job, you go into the orientation. So everyone has to start somewhere, so you go to orientation, right? So you get oriented or well equipped with the knowledge, the learning, the teaching of that particular job, of that particular, skill set that you're going to need.
Exactly.
And that's the same approach that we need to use when we are talking to families, saying how we going to build this great company.
Yes.
We got to have an orientation. We have to lay it all out and show them because, again, they don't know. So you got to lay it all out for them, have orientation so they can understand, okay, this is where you're coming from. So I was hearing that and I was hearing orientation,
Yeah, orientation will be a simpler way of thinking of it. When you're talking about communication and having family jump in on the on a bandwagon for building a successful business.
Right.
And another way that I say, besides having the elders and all of that, and we have somebody who's wise, is also you do need to literally keep in contact with everybody.
Yeah. But
and then also bringing people.
Other than the elders that you said, I think pairing up is the best way.
No, but that's what I was getting ready to say.
You have daughters, I have a daughter, you have a son, I have a son. We're family. Pairing up. If our boys love video games, pair them up. You know, say, look, y'all can rock this out. The girls love nails and love beauty. Pair them up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but so see, here's the great thing about that,
mm-hmm.
because I do have one who does who likes the cosmetology and stuff like that. And
licensed.
Your daughter is licensed.
Yep.
It's like, why not? Hey, okay, I have
family
bam.
Out there. Pair your nieces, your nephews, your cousins up
together.
You know, because 2 is better than 1. So when 2 or more together in His name, there will be God.
So when you have, right? So when you have,
He's going to help you get through and help
exactly.
you know, get this business up.
Exactly. So what happens is then you will have your daughter who's actually mentoring the younger one.
Yep.
And then the end result, keep them out of trouble.
Yep.
You have another pair of eyes because they're older, of course.
Yep.
And they're going to look out for and then that gets that apprenticeship.
Yeah.
We always talk about that apprenticeship and, you know, building them up. So then they're able to take on that.
Yep.
And then, that's when we start getting into that generational part.
And we got to look at it like this too. We are the elders.
We are. Oh,
we are the elders. So what we got to do, we got to impart all of our greatness that we've done in life to the next generation. Mm-hmm. Give them hope. I don't care if you have failure. It don't matter. But your greatness is that you are still here. But you tried, right?
Yeah.
But you're still here and you're still telling them where not to go. Yeah, I've done that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you not gonna survive that.
Nah.
Don't do that. I need you to go around. This way, be smart about it, and use your smarts. Oh, your cousin, they into this. You like doing that. Your cousin got that joint locked down. Y'all go talk to each other. Y'all go figure that out. Because you got the money sense. You know how to get the money.
Yeah.
Your cousin got that brain. Your cousin know how to put stuff together, but when it comes down to making that money, you got the money sense.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all come together?
Yeah. So that's the thing, and I always look for that. And the sad part is that
and we try to be inspirational. Stop saying woulda, coulda, shoulda.
But
we not giving you no woulda, coulda, shoulda.
We're going to start from now on. We're going to start trying to pair up,
push it
together. Even if it's like, you know, because you know how kids are. They're like, but no, push them.
We don't want to hear that.
To go there.
Push it. We're going to push towards their strength. What they like. Remember, 20 years ago, they was like, you can't make no money in that. You know.
They said you couldn't make no money in video games.
Everything.
And apparently somebody did make money in video games. Somebody made money in... I'm sorry, excuse me. They said YouTube, and now we got people making money in YouTube. We got people making money.
I got my little check. I got my little check from my 56 joints on what was that? It started with an Anchor. I have 56 podcasts on Anchor. It's under Dad Talk Podcast. It's name, picture of the kids on there, right? I got my little check. What? A couple of weeks ago. 46 cents. Come on,
46 cents. But every penny counts.
Yeah.
Every penny counts.
Yep.
Every penny counts.
Definitely. But you know, that 46 cents could be like 4 million later on. You just gotta have that mindset that
and think
it
big.
Can be. Think big. Yeah. But pair your family members together. You know you got a whiz in your family, you know, somewhere. You got that whiz and you got that joker that can make money in their sleep. Always got a vision, always hustling. Bring them together.
Look. You got that uncle or that family member who be selling everything.
Right.
Be
sell
on the corner.
Everything.
And they just hustling. And I call them the crackheads.
Yeah.
Crackheads.
Bring them together with the real estate person in your family. Bring them together with the person that's doing real estate in your family. You got that one person in your family always talk about real estate. You go get that cousin over there that's been hustling.
Pookie on the corner.
Bring him over, because he gonna show them how to really sell. Oh, I'm selling real estate. How many houses you sell? Nothing yet, but I'm in real estate.
Hold on 1 minute. Let me make a phone call.
Go get him. Bring him over, and he gonna show them how to do it. So we got to start pairing those minds together, because we get to the point where what is this? You think you up here? You ain't up here. Mm-mm. You ain't too good for nobody.
You on the same level. Everybody carry that same last name, so
right.
You
on the same level. So what you got to do is grab all your strengths. This is the vengeance. You gonna grab all your folks and bring them together, and that's how you gonna build your business and start a business for one. But always look at your brilliant minds. You can never doubt that this person over here, like, oh, he ain't done nothing with his life. He has a brilliant mind. She has a brilliant mind. Bring them together. Once you bring them together, y'all can do something. But all day long, you looking outside of your family, and it's right in front of you.
Yep, and I think that's the thing that we have to stop doing is looking outside and start trying to build up our family on the inside.
Well, at least try. We ain't gonna say that. Just at least try with your family first.
Try family first.
Because we'll some people, and we know, we already know that some is gonna be a train wreck. But we would love that you build something for your family.
Yeah.
We want you to build something together. Not all of them may not work, but for the ones that could.
Yes.
Or just put your family on. How about that? Like I talked to my little cousin. That fool probably spent about $8,000 a year on shoes, clothes, and all of that. I said, dude, one hit, one. $1,000 can buy you a house. $1,000 can buy you some land. Easily. Less than that. And all you need is just one.
Yep.
Because you could be like this. I have a nice portfolio, but that one cousin that buy that one land, he gonna know how to put a house on there. He gonna get that joint going. He gonna find a way. So that's when you bring those family members together. You got the resources. Hey, look, and you got family. Everybody got family that's down. Everybody. Take that family member and say, look, if you got resources, put them on. Look, let me go ahead and put you on over here.
And that's what makes our family very unique, because at least for our family and extended family, you're going to find that one person. I speak in real estate terms. You got the land. You're always going to find out one family member who knows how to, or know somebody who knows how to.
Right.
To do clearing. Somebody who knows how to do construction.
Right.
You might have a family member who's an architect.
So we might as well plug this right now. Anybody that know how to do clearing in the family, can clear some land. Somebody that can write up some matter of fact, or matter of fact, I've been trying to do these plans for my own building for the longest. Any of our architect family members out there know how to draw plans up officially,
Get them
get at us.
State
right, get them state regulation, the whole nine. Get at us, dog. We already know a couple of people in the family that know how to do rehabs, the whole nine. But let's keep going. What's to do the rehab if we ain't got a plan yet?
Exactly.
So let's get our plan together. We calling for help.
Yep.
We calling for help. Hey, anybody out there that know how to build, know how to draw a plan out?
Yep.
Come on, help.
Yep.
Here's another thing about the not being the only person doing it. I've been the only person doing a lot of stuff for a long time. So I'm at the point where it's like, you know what, dude, you got this. I got so much. If you sit down, you look at my resume, you go, damn, I can put you on, let you do that. You can do that. You can do this. You ever hear about government grants and things of that nature?
Yep.
My company is actually a minority-owned certified company. That means I work with the state. I am licensed to work with the state. I sell to the state. So if anyone that's in procurement, anyone that's in logistics, anyone that's in IT, anyone that knows half of the stuff that they got up there that I don't know nothing about, I got a laundry list of stuff that they send me every month. And I'm looking through like, what can I do? Nothing. Can't do that. Can't do that. Joe, I'm the plug. I got you. All you got to do is DM me, contact me, tell me exactly what you do. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to look at the board and I'm going to be like, okay, let me punch that in. Because somebody out there is doing something I don't know how to do, but I got the damn door open. I'm the plug. But I'm sitting there, I got the door open for years. I can't do half of this stuff, but I did the hardest thing. They give you a 2-hour interview. You sit down with this dude. He came to the house, and he's a what are those folks? Like they read your body. Like they the dudes that
lie detector.
Yeah,
they the lie detector thing. They like this.
They ask you a question and they look at your ass like
straight face.
So I passed that, the financials, the background, all of that stuff. I passed all of that. I passed all of the mental stuff that they was doing. 2 hours straight. So I was able to.
They had to make sure you wasn't trying to blow up any buildings and stuff like
that. Don't say that. Don't say that. But I got past all of that, was able to get to this point where now I can legally sell to the government. Okay? So I don't care where you at, what side of town you in, as long as you're in the United States, we can make this thing happen.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, all my family members that got all of those specialty things that you know how to do, get at me.
Yep.
Because we can sit down and we can look at whatever it is that they got on the computer, and they say, "Oh, this is your specific lane. Let's get in there. Let's win that bid." And I'm talking about 250 to life. Man, they had a joint up there for $8 million. And guess what it was?
I don't know.
Concrete. Pouring concrete.
Well, I know. Do we have any masonry? Is that what you call them? Masonry's people?
Yeah. I had a neighbor, and I sent the thing to my neighbor. They sat on it. I'm like, Joe, it's only 11 miles of concrete. I don't know how to pour concrete.
But you do.
I would have jacked that joint up, though. It'd have been lumpy and everything. But 11 miles of concrete for $8 million.
I don't know how to do all of that.
I don't know how to do that.
I was not blessed
but
with that.
But I passed it over to my neighbor, and they didn't do it in time. So all I'm asking is that when you do that, you can come up on our umbrella. Matter of fact, use your own insurance or whatever, do whatever, get a big cut out of it, you know, because you are the talent. It's just that I got the door open, I got the umbrella, y'all can come in and do whatever.
Yep.
Whatever it is that you can do, I have that umbrella.
Yep.
I have the opening. You come in and like I said, we just sit there and just DM me, talk to me, and we can go from there.
Exactly.
You know, 8 million. I said, what does that look like? I'd have just took one. Just give me one. Y'all got the work. That's you. Just give me one out of that. That's you.
That's it.
That's it. I'm being fair. I'm not like, oh yeah, it's 8 million. Y'all get 250. I ain't gonna do that to you. I'm like, hey, man, just give me one. Because you know what's gonna happen.
Give me one. Give me 2 million. That's enough to pay everything.
Right.
And go to a different country.
Right. No, that's gonna buy my other island. But check this out. Yeah. The deal is to do that, to be that fair. The next contract is ours again, because how they do it is that they look at the next bid, they look at what you won that's in that category, and you first dibs.
See, and I think sometimes we be messing ourselves up a little bit, because if the opportunity is literally like knocking at the door, you need to just answer it and just go ahead and go. Because sometimes you just don't know when is the next time you're going to have that chance to actually do that one thing. So,
and I blame myself. I don't talk to people that much because I'm busy. I stay busy on this road of success. I'm staying busy. I'm trying to keep my mind focused, trying not to get off too far. And then if it's something, and I blame myself too, because if it's something that comes like too familiar, that's too familiar. Gotcha. Get that out of my life. I gotta pay attention to this.
The thing that the task that's at hand.
So I'm driven to do that task, and I'm pushing up everything else out of the way to get that task done. So while I'm getting that task done, I'm tunnel vision. I'm in tunnel vision.
We tend to do. We have that. That's the thing.
So I got tunnel vision, and I'm just thinking about that.
And you forget about everything else around you, and then you forget, and then you come up and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot that I had to do X, Y, and
Z. And now that I have that,
X, Y, and Z.
Now that I have all of that, I'm like, oh snap, I need somebody to do this. I got this going on, and I'm seeing bids come in.
That's where family members need to come in.
When that bid came in, I'm like, oh, $8 million. Went to my neighbor real quick. Hey, could y'all follow up on this? Just tell me what y'all can do. Tell me if y'all can get all this material. Never heard from him again, and I bugged the mess out of him.
And he never followed it. So that's
I'm like,
and now,
and then I got another neighbor that does it too. And I just had found out. I said, oh man.
And he probably would have actually did it.
I don't know, but it's the communication part. You got to stay on people,
And that's the thing. If you want it bad enough, people will actually. That's a lot of money. If you really
I'm telling you like this, if you looking, we got that.
Yeah.
We got all types of stuff like that. So we missed that one.
There's another one.
Another one come in. I'm gonna put that in under my, what is that? Whatever. It's that, and those numbers. It begins with an N.
And then a whole bunch of numbers and letters, and then
a lot of numbers. No, it's like a 4044 something or 00. It's
a number.
Okay. It's a number. I don't want to mess the name up, the acronym.
Oh, okay.
But if you know. So I can put that in there and say, under our umbrella, we do all of this. See, when I first got in, I was like, under our umbrella, we do publishing. And then I went to the federal printing agency. I got an account with them. And I got 4 colors. So I got approved for 4 colors. But everything that was going on, what is it? Fed something, I forget the name of it. But they wanted millions of them. They wanted to print out 1 million of these, 250 of these, 500,000 of these. I got the printing press. I got the printing company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have did it, but I'm like, damn, I keep missing them.
Because you need somebody there.
No, I needed paper. And then I got the paper contract. So I had the paper contract and I had the printers. Then COVID happened. I bought all this paper and look, they still got the paper. But some of it, I think, because they was probably like, shit, you got free paper. And just start using it. But I bought all of that paper. We already had the ink ready. Had the paper. They already got all the machines and everything. But COVID happened, so I was out of money. It was just, there. But what I'm saying is, I could have had it done. That happened. Now I got to switch gears and get more people in to do other things. But again, whatever specialty that you have that you know how to do, call me. I got this joint open. I got the door open.
Yeah.
Whoever's
seeing this, y'all know how to get in touch.
Yep. What's up, Chrissy?
What to do?
Yeah. So the thing that we're kind of building on is just all these things that have to do with building a legacy, being able to get over these, what would you call
them?
Hurdles with trying to build something, whether with your family-wise first, something that you can leave a legacy with. Furthermore, your kids working together and bonding together to do something. Your family working together, bonding together and do something, and finding the strength in your family members. They may say, "Oh man, I don't know how to do that." Man, you got something of you that's something of value. All I need you to do is go out and get the people. Oh, you know how to talk? Just tell them about my stuff the whole day. I'll pay you for just telling them about my stuff. You know, so different things that we got to get over to get to that point. We said it was mental first, right? Yeah. So we had mental issues that we got to get over first. Oh, I don't like that family member. I don't like this person. You know, the whole
night. To the side.
I don't trust this person. I don't trust yourself to know that you go. Trust yourself in God and pray on it and say, "Hey, I'm gonna select the right person for this job." Yeah. You know, because what makes the Waltons, the Shacks, the other people, the Samsung people different in your family? What makes them different in your family? They came from the same struggle. Then they turn out, I think the lady made like 190 million a year, like the sister or the wife, with Walmart. Walmart, yeah. Yeah. But these two guys said, we're gonna start something in our garage. Shaq had the gift to grow, but we know we got folks that tall as I don't know what, but they didn't make it to the league neither. Mm-hmm. But it was something in them that made him to the league. After the league, he's a businessman. He's a shrewd businessman. Yeah, he is. He really is. He's a police officer. He's a businessman. He got a whole lot of hats that he wear, but he didn't stop.
I still can't get over the whole policeman part.
It was just something that he wanted to do when he was younger. So he just did it for fun.
He actually went to the whole thing.
He's an honorary police officer. You know.
His big behind actually jumped over the fence. I mean, he didn't have to do much. All he had to do was take one leg over and then the other leg over.
But they listen to him though. He's a wealth of knowledge and he helps people out. Like he got a big heart. So what separates you and those people? For one is having a goal, right? Yeah. Focus and never giving up on that goal. And then the help part. Remember we was talking about accepting help. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how they got there. The Waltons, Walmart from a garage. Come on, man. Yeah. And look where they at now. Yep. You think that your family can't do the same thing? And when we was talking about now, what's going on now is especially important for our families to do that. They got companies right now buying up homes. So what they trying to do? Next time you go to apply for a home, they're gonna say you can't buy this. You can only rent it because they're buying up homes right now.
Yep, these companies, real estate, these companies that normally build apartments are now taking the buying the houses and then turning around and renting them out, which is now making it harder for people to purchase homes. And sooner or later, there's not going to be any homes to purchase. So that's why land is very precious. And, you know, we talk about, which we already talked about that off camera before we even came on, which was how, you know, people would sell grandma and grandpa house, and not knowing how precious the land in the house is. And it's like, no, you don't want to do that. I don't care how much or how mad you are at this person, that person, and whatever. Land is precious, and so is the homes, because even though it's considered, I say big house, people say grandma's house, whatever. But those are the homes that you need to try to keep together. That's why you need that family unit, so everybody can pitch in to, you know, keep the home in the family, because you just never know when y'all gonna need that home.
Yeah, and it's a 911 right now. It's a 911, and basically, I'm gonna give you a cheat code. You can use it if you want. You can use it if you don't want to. You know, but then you're using it. But here's the cheat code. Contact Tiffany Making It Happen Tayus. That's the tax sale group. Okay. Yep. She's the tax sale lady. You'll find her on Instagram. You'll find her on Facebook. You'll find her everywhere. You know. Look her up. Tiffany Tayus is a T-Y-U-S-E, the last name. Tayus. Okay? Tayus. Look her up. And the only reason I'm saying it like this is that when I first met her, right, she was like, man, I said, what is your problem? What are you manning about? She's like, nah, I ain't gonna tell you. I said, tell me, What you talking about?
You
She
tell
said,
her
nah,
husband,
you just gonna be like everybody else.
every other Negro.
Right? I'm
Yeah,
like, what are you talking about?
mhm.
I said, hit me to what you talking about. She said, well, I'm gonna show you. So she showed me what she was doing. She was going in to tax sales and buying land and buying homes. And I'm like, okay. Then I figured out what she did for a living. She worked in Atlanta's tax, division and all of that. So she knew about it. So I said, dang, she knows something about something. So she went out the first time and showed me, hey, this is what I do. I said, all right, I'm gonna give you some money. So I gave her like 5,000. First time we ain't win nothing. Second time she come back, she got change for me. I'm thinking in my head, 5,000 gonna probably buy me one thing. She bought me two things: land and a house. I said, hold on, change? Huh? Here's a tip. I think I gave her like 1,000 or something. Huh? Here you go. I said, you got to be kidding me. She said, yep. But here's the thing: she's a thinker. She ain't just gonna buy you or get you or put you in a place just to have a something piece of land, something piece of house. What she do, she look at the whole area and she look at the bigger picture. What's coming 5 years? What's coming now? What they gonna do? What they gonna do to that whole area? How they gonna redevelop that area that's gonna make you money here and now and forever? So she look at it strategically. What they building over here? They building the Central Intelligence Agency where my land and my house is, less than 5 miles off of the Mississippi. Water is always gonna be
a high.
Yeah, we
estate.
near
That's
water.
That's high, waterfront property.
Right, we near
it's
water.
Always gonna be high. Yes.
We have a government installation that's gonna come in, and somewhere in their charter, you know it. Everybody in DC know it. They was just a little bit late on the waterfront. They was like 20 years late on the waterfront.
What did they call it?
But they were supposed to build around the waterfront.
Yep.
But now you see what the waterfront look like, right, y'all?
It's very, very
right?
beautiful.
Capers, ain't capers no more. Everything is cleaned up all the way around that joker, right? They built the stadium. All that stuff is clean.
Anacostia,
right,
is different.
So if I'm close, I'm in that proximity. What you think they're gonna do to me? They're gonna either call eminent domain, or they're gonna say y'all need to build up, and there's a certain amount of years y'all need to build up. My mindset is somebody gonna work across the street over there, but back to the story. But somebody's gonna work across the street and they're gonna walk home to my house that I own, that I can rent to them. But back to the story. She brought me these two properties. I couldn't believe it. I said, you lying, Joe. It was real. Got my name all over it. I ain't never buy anything before then ever in my life to own like that, other than cars and stuff like that. But to have property that you own outright. Outright. So I got on it. I said, okay, let me go test this theory. I go down to my courthouse in Georgia, and I bid for a couple of joints, and I got them.
Yeah.
I bid for them. I got them. I'm like, oh snap, this shit works. This works. So I got like excited, like, man, I gotta buy some more. Cause this joint work. And I'm talking about you will blow way more money in your lifetime than the amount of money that you spend on tax sales.
Yeah.
You will never come close to the little bit of money that you spend to get you some land and to get you a house. I'm telling you.
This is the time to do it. Y'all.
This is the time to get this done. If this is what, I mean, this is the only time right now. This is the only time to go ahead to secure that. You know why? I'm going to put you in the mindset of this. I got sick during COVID, right? Towards the middle of the end of right in the middle.
Because we called.
This is what saved my house. I got a portfolio. I'm laying on my back. All I can do is get on the phone and dial a little bit, text my realtor. That land that she got for me for $500, I quadrupled. What do you quote?
Quadruple the income. The
times 4.
quad. Yes.
It's times 4, times 4, times 4. Okay.
Mm.
My money that I got from just saying, looking at my portfolio, oh man, I'm down. I ain't getting no publishing work coming in. I ain't getting no heating and AC work. I'm laid on my back, Joe. This is
COVID,
real.
Right?
Yeah, I had COVID.
Yeah, so you was really out of it.
I didn't have nothing to my.
I remember.
I mean, I had stuff to my name, but I still have mortgage. I still have bills. I got 2 kids in here.
College, yeah.
Yeah, car, gas, all of that. I'm on my back, Joe. That's why I say to this day, I praise her and I thank God for what I praise God, but I thank her for listening and saying, I'm gonna help you, because nobody else would want to listen. I'm gonna help you. That joint got me. Remember, I spent $500 on that land.
Quadruple.
I sold it.
Quadruple.
Right, quadruple. I sold it and I paid all my bills for a year and a half.
There you go. That should give y'all an idea.
One piece of right. One piece of land.
Without giving out any numbers.
Right. And look, and still had money. And while I was sick, my kids gained an addiction. Amazon and ordering. That was their addiction. They ordered everything. I got up and I'm like, boxes everywhere. So that's how much money I had that they was just like ordering everything. And still all the bills were paid.
Still covered.
So what I'm saying is, I use that out of my portfolio as my backup. Mm-hmm. How many of y'all can say, I know a lot of y'all can't even go and say, oh, I got $100 in the bank. I had negative $25 in the bank. And this is March. January was a good month. February was done. March was done. I had negative 25 in my accounts. This is real.
Yeah.
This is real.
That's that paycheck to paycheck moment.
Right. So I went to 20 joints, racks, in less than what? It took them only like 3 weeks to make the sale. My realtor was on it. We had a couple of weeks, and the reason why, the land was free and clear. You own it. Free and clear. Did the title? I said, y'all pay the title. Y'all do all that search. Everything clean. It's in my name. I own it. So when I was down and out, that paid all my bills. I had a portfolio. All I did was just pick one thing out of my portfolio and saved me. Mm-hmm. Paid all my bills. Mm-hmm. But you need to build a portfolio so then that way, if you are happen to rent in some place, and shit shut down again.
I'm telling y'all.
Where you going?
I'm telling y'all.
Where? No, for real.
No,
where are you
like,
going?
Yeah.
When stuff shut down again, and you can be an entrepreneur, you can own your own business, you can work for somebody. Where are you going when everything's shut down? What do you have to go to if it all hits the fan? What do you have that you could say, man, I'm digging into my portfolio and start selling this stuff off so I can live? We got to think smart now.
Think smarter, not harder.
Yeah. So what can you do to have an asset that you can literally reach in your portfolio, grab that asset, sell that asset, and still be able to live? We don't think about that until it's too late. I was on my back. I lost 28 pounds. I was a bobblehead. No shit. I was a bobblehead. Really? I mean, I can laugh about it now, but
back then,
Joe, I couldn't laugh about it because all I was doing was from the toilet, the shower, the tub. That was my whole thing. I'm in there for weeks. The kids like, here's another thing that I want to touch on. Don't build a culture, unhealthy culture. Take breaks.
Please
I built an unhealthy culture, and my kids didn't even know I was dying. They just, oh, school bus, I'm gone. Hey, Dad, see you later. Because I was busy working day and night. Don't build an unhealthy culture. Because that unhealthy culture almost took me out. So they was used to me working all the time. So they was like, oh, his door closed. He's cool. Not until they saw me on the couch a month later. It took them a long time to figure out that Dad was dying.
It was a big problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Mm-hmm. Don't build a culture where you have that separation. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about work because I gotta do this, I gotta do that.
So that's one of the biggest things that I had to learn. My husband had to learn. We all had to learn, and I think that was one of the biggest things that was taught to us, or what we experienced over time, which was a job is always going to be there. Mm-hmm. And no matter if you're working for yourself or you're working for somebody, especially somebody else, they can replace you in a heartbeat. Yeah. If anything happens to you today or tomorrow, God forbid, knock on wood, but your seat won't be cold enough until they will find somebody to replace you. So take those vacations. If those vacations are given to you, take them. If that sick day is given to you, take it. Even if you're not sick, but take that mental day. Because if not, like you said, you start building an unhealthy culture. The kids are going to see that, oh, you're constantly working. They're going to be involved in their world, in their little world, that they're not going to get a chance to stop and think and see other things. So definitely take those breaks. Definitely, do that.
Throw your middle fingers up to your 401k and tell these bammers, this is my money. For real. Yeah. I don't want to hear about you'll get a penalty. Well, penalty this because I'm about to go buy some land. I'm about to go buy some land. So I can care less. Put a penalty on me. Put a penalty. I'm about to go buy some land.
And I'll pay it back.
I'm going to pay it back or I might not. But I'm about to go buy some land right now. You worked enough. Go get you some land out of that 401k. I know some people right now that got about 60 of them in that 401k. Go buy you a house. Go buy you some land. Buy a couple. Go get that down. So all you got to do is pay utilities. I don't care if you mix it up and say, man, I'm just going to go buy me a little home, trailer, put it on my land.
And don't sneeze on them trailers. Right. My husband and I, we went to go, I don't know, where we was in Stafford? Past Stafford? Yeah. There's a place past Stafford, y'all, in Virginia. If you ever get a chance to go, I forgot to call them Clayton.
Oh, they got like a trailer park?
It's not a trailer park. Oh. It's where they sell trailer homes, but they don't look like trailer homes. You would think that they're actually houses. But
you're going to need that trailer to put it on some land.
Yeah,
so
you still need the land. You still need the land, y'all.
Buy the land first.
But them trailers look like straight homes. I'm talking about jacuzzis.
Yeah. They working out.
2 floors, and they literally cut the house in half. Transport. But it's still, you would not think it's a trailer home.
Ownership is everything. Second thing, family, we got to invest. We got to get with the program. Okay? I don't know what to invest in. I don't know what to invest in. Okay, we have folks out here. Let me see. Dag, what is your man? I wish he was on here so he could tap in too. But Rob Chavez. I know he's on the higher end of investing. Santos Butler. He's on the higher end because he got the puts and the stays. He got that all down. But reach out to these folks, family. You know who they are. Invest. Reach out to these folks. Rob Chavez, Santo Butler. I'm putting Santo on there because me and Santo was joking back in the day about different things, and he knows investments. He knows how to bet against the stock market. Puts and stays on different companies.
I can't do that. My anxiety.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
You talking about taking money and there's no guarantee I get that money back.
Look, I don't want to hear that. Look, contact these folks that know, right?
Yeah.
Contact those
Go
folks
with somebody
that know.
you know.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
The other thing, even small investments can be a big investment. All right, we're in a technological age right now. I'm gonna give y'all a jewel, right? Nobody else may give you a jewel. They may flag me on this. I don't care. I already got mine. So check this out. Microvision right now is right up under $1. Is jumping between 98 cents to $1.15. Okay, you got to understand trends. You got to understand the backstories to all of these things, especially when you're dealing in stocks. You can have somebody that own a company. He get caught with the mistress. Now the trust have gone down, and now the stocks are dropping. They like, oh Lord, the stock drops just because of something like that. Or you can have, yeah.
Mess with the mistress.
Or
really?
you can have a company that basically has a chokehold on the industry because they got the license, they got the patent for this stuff. So you know when shit hits the fan, they're gonna be the ones looking pretty in court, suing everybody. Talk about, yeah, let me go see that design. That was our design that we put in. We put that design in. Now we suing everybody. So go to MVIS, either on your Robinhood, Vanguard, even on, I don't think they're gonna show on Cash App because they low performing right now, and that's a reason on Cash App. But go to Robinhood, Acorn, Vanguard, and it, or any of your sites that you go through to invest. That's one, because I saw it the other day. I always look at these things. Why the hell would someone spend $455,000 in 1 month on a stock that's not performing? That's a lot of damn money.
So, because
they know
one
something.
Day it's going to go up.
They know something we don't know.
It's always been kind of a saying, like, and once you get that, like, once you hit rock bottom, the only place to go is what?
Up.
Is up. So eventually, if the thing is at rock bottom, it's eventually going to go sky up.
You still follow the trends. You still follow what they are.
Yeah.
The technology joint, everybody and their mama is using this linear sensor, but it's going to all have to come back down to who created it, who has the patent. They looking weak right now. But get as many as you can, because they're going to blow up. Because the future is calling for autonomous cars. Waymo got an autonomous car. Google has that through Waymo, I think. And Garmin is a material that's in those cars. But this is not centralized to just one car. It's for all.
Yeah, because eventually all cars are going to be, well, right now,
but
they were talking about all cars being electrical.
Microvision, MVIS that's their ticker. Go and buy a whole grip of that joint. Go buy as much as you can. I say buy 1,000 because they're only $1. It's only $1 and some change. Hold on to that stock and in the future. Woo, that's just something to hold on to because I'm just looking at the trends. I'm like, this thing is gonna be big. It was big in the 90s when it came out. Jokers was making like $8 million off of it when it first came out in the 90s, but it was too far ahead. They making this stuff, it was too far ahead at the time. Nobody was using them as much. It was cars using them, but then it was like, yeah, ain't gonna be no cars driving by themselves. Y'all tripping. But now it's on the
well, I knew cars were gonna be driving themselves, but they had the whole Jetson cartoon. So I'm just saying.
But yeah, that's one jewel is to invest. Get into investments. 2 companies that I stand by: Energy Transfer and Microvision as a good stock to start with. Reason being, Energy Transfer won a big lawsuit. They was getting sued and they got all that money. They got all that money, and it's just what they do logistically. They now got their hands in some other shit. They thought they wasn't gonna get into it, but now they in it. Mm-hmm. So the money gonna come. So 2 stocks, Energy Transfer and Microvision, just to use as something that you're going to keep for a long while. You're going to buy it and you're just going to sit on it. Mm-hmm. So that's my opinion, is to get those buy a lot of them, sit on them because they about to come up in a little bit.
Yep.
You know, so just diversify. So that's part of also trying to grow your company, trying to grow your business, and grow your family into that. Start teaching your family
The
new
kids,
things.
the kids
Teach them new
definitely.
things. I got my kids on the net. I'm like, look, here's your accounts, invest. Well, I ain't got no money. You got $1. Stop playing.
So
Invest.
that was one of the biggest thing. I think there was a young
Mhm.
man who actually did that with his. I don't know how he did it, but let's say less. The
Mhm.
boy is, I think now, because it's been some years,
Mhm.
he's now an adult and actually probably done finished college by now. He was a young black man, and he mom was a single parent, and he did this investment thing, and it ended up becoming one of the youngest investors. And he was about 9 years old, so we're talking almost we're 8, not 10 years in. He's well into high school, out of high school, college, probably almost done with college, and his stuff is already paid for, and his mom is living lovely just because the boy at 9 years old decided he wanted to play with the stock market.
So you
and
gotta
his
follow
mom
that,
was
man.
like, his mom was like, okay, and that was a big faith, because most parents would have been like, kid, you're crazy.
Right. So you gotta follow the people that know, man. Definitely follow the people that know. That's cousin.
No, that's auntie to me.
Oh, that's auntie to you.
Yeah, that's auntie to me. Hi, auntie.
Yeah. So you definitely have to follow those that know. But when we talk about building a strong business with family, or we talking about business period, but with family, there's a whole lot of steps you gotta go through. There's a lot of stuff you gotta go through. But in the end, it's worth it. I always tell people, I'm about to get corny as a mug. Be the change that you want to see.
Really? Be the change
but
that
it
you want to
is.
see.
It is. Because for the adults, your kids will call you on it. One day they're gonna call your ass on it.
Oh yeah, they do.
But the
They
one
always
thing
do.
that they cannot call you on is your work ethic and what you were showing them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect for them to do and be something that you ain't.
Mm-hmm.
You got to model that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care in what way. At least be consistent on something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shoot, he's consistent leaving that bowl right there every day. He's consistent, but be consistent on something, because they'll follow that. I see a lot of then also it's tricky too, because I see a lot of folks that their kids follow directly into their footsteps in certain ways, right? I'm artsy. I do a lot of different things, fighting, wrestling, football, all of that stuff I did growing up.
Yeah.
Active. Then my son takes over the technical side. He's the artist, he's the technical, he's the business side. So he does that. I could sing. My daughter took over the singing.
You could sing.
Yeah.
You could really.
But the one thing.
Sorry, y'all.
But the one thing,
she's a better singer than you.
Yeah, the one thing that they do best that I've done is that they're multifaceted. They're about that money. They're about their goals. They're about whatever that they love. They're gonna get into. I even had some times where I almost caught myself. Like, oh shit, nah, that's down. I can't jump in and say do this because I did it. I said, nah, go ahead. I'm a support you in what you're doing. And they've been doing their thing, So they saw me do it. I could never say when they saw me going through stuff that I say, I'm going out. I'll be right back. I'm going to a job. I can never come back home empty-handed. If they saw that, they're going to a job. And I come back with that money. That showed consistency, and it showed that, hey, he out there working. He doing his thing. I take my son with me. a lot of times when we do different jobs. So if we're doing a full replacement of an AC unit, I bring them on in. Come on, you got to learn this skill. So I bring him in, and he looks at it, he's like, wow. Then I take him when we get dressed up, suit and tie, and we're going to the nuclear power seminar where they're talking about nuclear power and how to work with the government and all of these things, right? So now we're in a whole different atmosphere. So he like, hold on, how you go from
this
to
this
so now we got to dress up and we had a luncheon and they're talking about nuclear power and they talk about, you know, all of these other things and how to live green and the whole nine is like, wow. Then we leave from there and we go to a movie premiere. And then we're hobnobbing with people that are in the industry and we're looking at all the different gadgets, all the different, you know, cameras. He's like, wow, I'm gonna have to get that type of camera. He's building his own computer. He just built his own computer.
He told me that. He's like,
so he's like, I need this. We fighting over the RAM and we fighting over the processor. He said, I need a 7 gen. I said, why don't you get an 11? He said, because what they found out is that the 11 overheated this particular processor, this particular brand. I'm like fighting him, like, no, you need to go. Come to find out, he was right. He was dead on. But it took for him to experience all of this stuff, constantly going to different things.
Researching. And he researched, y'all, because he hit me onto some things, especially about you know, live streaming and things like that. So
he the dude to go to.
He's the person to go to. And I know who to go to from now on because it won't be you. It'll definitely be him. So especially for the technology stuff.
What we saying is the awareness, the experience, you know, get them around people that do different things. Always make sure that even if it's stuff that you don't know, put them around people that might even be your cousins that do know. Oh, go with cousin so-and-so. Go have that experience. Go over there because they're going to take you to a place where you got to wear a suit and tie and sit down and listen to this boring-ass speech, but you're in a room full of people that know different things.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is for me now. What with my
she just came. Come on, man. She just came back from Ghana. Tell them about going to Ghana. Come on now.
That was an interesting experience. Going to Ghana was very interesting. I was there for 10 days. Started at Accra, Ghana, then Cape Coast, then Kumasi. During that time, I got to see how our ancestors traveled, where they were taken from, down to the dungeons, which was very emotional. From the dungeons down to the last bath, where the slaves were taken through the river. And when I say that river is filled with gold, y'all, I am so serious. It was gold specks in the water and the rocks. Through there, we got to literally follow the cycle. And actually, instead of going through the cycle like they were, we was doing it backwards, as in a way to say that we returning home. And as in a way of like, we're putting our ancestors to rest, letting them, you know, rest easy at this point, because we returned back home, we touched the motherland. Now we're coming back here, but you know, essentially we did the experience backwards as a return. And that was a very unique experience, very emotional experience, but definitely something that I would tell anybody to go do. Definitely do it as much as as often as you can. Go. Experience those places. I think the next place, if I have the chance, will definitely be Senegal, would definitely be
that's where we're supposed to be buying land at.
Senegal, yeah. Because actually, a lot of people don't know that the government there, while I was there, was actually asking questions and just probing. And they're saying that certain countries, not all of them, but certain ones, Ghana, Senegal, Kenya, and I think it's another country, I'm not too sure, y'all, but they're offering us like a form of like a return for us to come back in a way. But when you do it with the attention that you're prepared for the change in the lifestyle, and don't follow. And it was told to me by the locals there, don't follow everything you see on YouTube. They say just be prepared if you're going to make that.
Yeah, you would have to visit a couple of times.
You have to visit a couple of times. You have to get to know the laws. You have to get to know all of that. But if you are coming in, that's where I said that family business is very important.
Right.
Knowing your history is very important, because honestly, there's a lot that could be done there, and you can actually build a business there and live pretty well there as much as you can here.
Yep.
It's just you're not going to deal with a lot of the hassle here than you would there.
Yeah.
So they're always looking for doctors. They're looking for engineers. They're looking because they need buildings to be rebuilt and put up. They're looking for anybody who's in human services. They want the social workers. They want the counselors. They want anybody who's going to bring some equity into their country. Yes. Equity. Yes, they're gonna want all of that. They want that. They want us to come over there to build what they have, and it was very nice. The food was pretty good. I didn't get sick or anything like that. Food was very fresh. Very fresh. The pineapples weren't the same pineapples we eat. They were white. They're not like yellow color. The food was definitely not wasn't processed. It was definitely something they cooked right on hand. Nothing was like frozen or anything like that. So it was very nice. The food was good. The experience is good. The books, they had books there. Definitely, I'll try to get some of the name of those books that I actually got one book, but they had some really great readings that talked about slavery and the true history of slavery, not what we're fed in these certain books, ism books. But yeah, so it was very interesting.
Experience is the best teacher, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is definitely.
And again, like I said, we are charged with learning something or teaching, not even really, learning and teaching.
Learning and teaching.
As adults and as parents, we have to learn something about, for ourselves, but then also teach our kids.
Yes.
And a lot of times what we teach our kids is nonverbal stuff. The kids are always looking at us, right?
Yes.
How we handle certain situations.
Yep.
What we say out our mouths, what we promise, what we do. They always looking at us.
Constantly.
And I always say it like this: I wanted my kids to be way better than me. Way better. Way better. So I said, how can I make them better? I got to expose them to certain things that I wasn't exposed to. I got to find out things. Like my daughter had this drive to be an actress. So every time something came up, she was all, it's all right, we're gonna go. But then I learned that half of that stuff that they was putting up, man, they lied. They lied so bad. We were supposed to go to this Disney thing, right? Then I pulled the people in the back and told them, now that's gonna be like 50 grand. So it was a bait and switch. We standing in line. We do all of that stuff just for it to be fake. So we ran into a couple of joints like that. But the last joint, I said, Kaya, how many times have I been wrong? She's like, not really. But I'm going to go anyway. Let's go see. And it was still the same thing, But she had to experience it to figure it out. To be like, okay, I see that. Now I'm not even going to try. Because it's a mess. I know that it's fake.
Yeah.
But shoot, we all got folks in the family that the kids can learn from. Everybody. There's no one in the family that they can't learn from. Because you already understand, books don't make you smart. Experience makes you smart and makes you wise.
Yeah.
So The books help, but you have someone that's learned through the world. They've learned everything from the world, from experience in the world. And they can teach them just as much as somebody that said, "Oh, I read it in the book." You know, they can teach them just as much. So then that way their eyes are open to how the world works. You have those that have knowledge that won't even give it up. This is like gatekeepers holding the knowledge. Somehow, some way, you got to get it up out of them. Don't get it. If you can't get it up out of them, go to someone else. Or if you know of someone, it ain't hard to reach out to them. I dropped 2 names in here, right? That I know, for one, what they doing in their life. And I'm like, that's a plug. Now I dropped 3 names. Those are plugs.
Then you dropped
those are people that you can go to and get infinite knowledge. I remember Miss Tayus, we was building on that. And I said, look, you know what you need to do? You need to write some books on this thing and you need to make it a business. And she like, well, there's other people doing it. It's already, I said, but they ain't doing it like you.
No.
You the only one that's doing it like
There's other things that she got going.
And you go a little bit deeper into people understanding how this thing works. Nobody's gonna teach it like you. So she was like, really? I said, yep. Go ahead, do it. You know? So that experience is, like I said, if it ain't somebody you know in your family, it's friends. You know, it's folks you know that you can just reach out and be like, I heard you talking about this. Could you give me a little bit more information on it? No problem. I'll definitely give you the info. She'll definitely give you the info. Other people will definitely give you the info, but that's the start of being able to open up and being family again. You know, if you look at it, the whole world is supposed to be family, right? But we still divided anyway. But it's folks that you know that want to live just like you. If you want to live in peace and you talking to somebody else and they want to live in peace, that's going to bring y'all, that's going to be more of the things that y'all, that will pull y'all together than pull y'all apart. Just the peace part. You want to live in peace, I want to live in peace. How you live in your peace? I'm gonna share with you how I live in my peace. You know, well, what are you doing? Because if all else fails, how we all going to survive when everything kind of fall down? Think about that. And always, what's your reserve? What's your reserve? Oh, I got a 9. I got 17 bullets. You run out of them 17 bullets. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Your lifeline has gotta be more than just that 9. Your lifeline gotta be some folks that know this, that know that I'm getting into that survival stuff, learning from people how to do this, you know, how to light a fire, how to do this, how to do that, how to save food, how to, you know, all of these different things, how to grow food, the whole 9. So these are very important things that we all need to learn how to do, you know, and just spread the word. Because again, when it all falls down, you know, what you gonna do? So we got to prepare ourselves for if it does, but what are we doing in the meantime, just to be ready, just in case? And that's what we're trying to do with this new program that we started with the podcast. Is we got to be intentional about what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Everything else around this journey is sensationalized. Don't nobody want to hear that. We don't. We can't afford to listen to that.
No.
We just can't. You know, we can't afford to listen to that stuff. We need someone to talk to us and make it plain and say, okay, these are the things that we've been thinking about. Because half of y'all been thinking about the same things, you know?
Y'all seeing what's going on. Y'all hear what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. Some of y'all might know more because what y'all do. So we're the process of this is to help those understand that you, at the end of the day, we're going to need family to survive. You're going to need family to build. We need to go back to the way it was back in the day, where you had the family living in one house and everybody worked together. Now the family is completely broken, and no matter what, everybody's relationship, but you always going to have that one or two or three or four, maybe plus family members that are just not as close as you would like them.
I'm gonna do you one better. Not even just being back in the day. I need you guys to raise your consciousness. I need you to raise your consciousness.
I like that one.
Because if it all falls down, how this machine works, you're gonna need to know how it works.
You do.
You're gonna need to know how it works. We are all used to some type of comfortability.
Yep.
I don't want to shit outside. My bad. I want to use the toilet, and I want it to run out, and I don't care where it's going.
But you just want to be.
But I want that machine to get back up and running.
Exactly.
So we can keep that going and going some elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right? I want to know those
things.
We
want to be able to survive.
I want to be well versed in how certain things go. So yeah, I might go out and start reading certain political books. And you're like, what are you reading this month? Man, I'm reading this Michael C. Anderson, The Progressive Gene. Why are you reading that? Because I'm trying to figure out how people think. You think The Art of War is written just to be written?
Please read it.
The Art of War is written so you can understand what's going on around you.
Yep.
You can understand your enemy, their tactics, the whole nine.
Yep.
So how things are, you have to start thinking that way.
Yep.
We can't just be, I would say,
living day by day.
No. I'm saying mindset. We just can't be like, oh, I live in a ghetto world, and I'm just gonna be a ghetto girl. I'm just gonna be a ghetto boy. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna be a baddie. City boys up 500. Yeah. We can't do that.
But
it's a larger world out here. It's a bigger world out here.
But that's the mindset.
I hear you, but I don't agree. It's a larger world out here that we're gonna have to acclimate to, like it or not. You're gonna be like, man, what they reading now? Yep, because I'm getting hip on this thing because they could be talking in code and I don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can be sitting here using big words like cuzzo, talking about equity. I'm like, explain equity because we don't know what you're talking about. When you talk about, no, we don't. We have no idea what equity is. None whatsoever. So you got to explain to us what it is. Either you got to come down, which I know you ain't, or I got to come up. One or two ways.
I have to set people to a high expectation.
Okay, so that means I got to come up. I got to understand what in the world you talking about. So right now is that time. Is to get on.
You got to come up.
Yeah, you got to come up. You got to get on your grizzly because remember, I didn't go to school for journalism at all. I'm not a journalist. I got a great imagination. I can write. Now, I'm not saying that, everything that I write is error free, is just perfect.
No,
that's why I have an editor. They make my words look nice.
Make it pretty.
And relatable to millions of people. So that's what you got to understand. Get that out of your mind first. When people start thinking small, think big. We got people out here that can help us move to the next level. Mm-hmm. I get that a lot when I have folks say, I don't know how to write a book. I say, you know how to tell a story? You know how to talk? Yeah, great. Talk in your own voice, and I got it from there. Mm-hmm. That's it. Speak in your own voice, and we have it from there. And you'll be surprised. I had a dude, he said, I just want to write a book. He said, I just want to show people that I got a book. I said, you don't want more? He said, man, I'd be happy just with that. Got the book done. He was happy. He said, I'm good now. I said, you need any other? No, I'm good. He's just going to frame the book. He don't care if he sell one. All he wanted to do, because the life that he lived, he had to show everybody around him, I'm going to make something of myself. And it was through one book. He didn't care.
It still sold a lot.
It was his life that all he wanted to do was to do one book and show people, because everybody around him doubted him. He got that one book out, he's set for life. He's where he needs to be in life, but he had to remind them people that was holding on. I can do it, and now I'm solidified that I could do it. I did it, and that was all he needed for peace, and he was good. But we still gotta go that way and above and beyond, and then the kids gotta go that way. You gotta look at your kid and be like, you ain't gonna be another one. Nope. Now I'm gonna call such and such and be like, Joe, I heard you talking all that mess. What you got? All right, I got this program. Give me about 2 months. I can come out there. I'm gonna share with you this program face to face, and we gonna walk through that joint. That's what I can do. Or however, we're gonna talk about it. We gonna get you there.
Yep.
You know, I heard you talk about that. Like I have heavy responsibilities, but I take them on and be like, yeah, I got you. I got you. I can get them done. You know, but that's part of me being that one. What is that? A cog, right? You know that wheel that got the notches is a cog, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's a cog. It's like the wheel that go like this, and then
it kind of like
fits
into each other.
Yeah, like how the watches go. You see them gears in it, and they fit inside each other. I'm just one cog in the wheel, right? So I'm doing my part, and I expect for the next person to come in and do their part. Then when you meet, it just kind of go together. You know, we go together. You know, like, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but like, I do my part, you do your part, and we can make the joint work. So that's just like in family building something. We all do our part. We all stand in our lane, and then when we bring it together, man, Voltron will be the best joint. So we like 7 lines, and we all do our part. We come together, and we create Voltron, the defender of the universe. Yeah. And we do that thing, right?
I thought I was the geek, but you got me.
We come together like Voltron. So
I thought I was the geek. You got me beat.
Yeah. We come together like Voltron, and we make it happen. The other thing that we got to deal with right now is just a senseless BS that's going on in our cities, right? A lot of people ain't gonna want to hear this. People want to know, how do you solve that issue? Killing with some killing, right? I mean, it matches the energy.
Yeah, the killing with
because that's what the government is going to do. That's what the government is going to do. They're going to match the energy. The energy that they're going to match is now death penalty.
Oh yeah,
that's the energy they're going to match it with.
They're going to match it with that.
They're going to match it with that.
And the whole idea is that from just my observation and just looking at things as a whole. Again, I saw things on the outside looking in at one point when I was in Ghana, and I was like literally horrified because they have it where there's a lot of things they're not telling us as citizens, or we're choosing not to listen to as citizens. And so one of the biggest ones that I have heard is that anybody who's caught living on the streets.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this is a federal thing. I think they're trying to make it federal, y'all. Don't quote me, but they're making it so if you get put out of your home or anything and you're caught living on the street, you will be put in jail.
So we'll say right now those are talking points because we don't know if it's
we're not sure if it's a whole thing.
Is the talking point similar to the Heritage Foundation in their 2025 plan?
2025
those
are just talking points. Yeah. Yes. So there's a lot of things.
But those are like the biggest what ifs.
The biggest what if, yeah. Biggest what ifs. But I tell everyone right now, this is why we're having this discussion about family, the family business, bringing the family, because that 2025 plan that they have are trying to whatever, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's just one of those things is prepare for the worst and, almost hope for the best situations.
But you don't do that. You plan.
You plan. Either way, you still plan.
Yeah, you plan.
You still plan no matter what.
You plan.
But plan and just literally hope for the. I still say hope for the best.
We ain't hoping nowhere.
Because
We
I'm
planning.
hoping that everything works out. And
We planning. I mean, because at the end of the day, if you don't make a plan, you know what they say, you don't plan to fail, you fail the plan.
That's
But
true.
if you don't put a plan together, then that's, you know, you're going to be asked out.
You are. And nobody wants to be asked out.
No.
I'll be honest.
You
I'm
don't.
not trying to be that one of those people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just one of those things that there's a lot of stuff that's going on. If anybody gets a chance to read it, go ahead and read it. Please read it.
Read what part?
The 2025 plan.
Oh, no,
read
no,
the
no,
whole.
no.
Read
That,
it.
again,
No.
See, what did
I
the Bible say?
prepare.
Hold on. We're gonna go biblical.
Oh, no, we're gonna go biblical.
The Bible says we suffer from what? What do people suffer from? Come on, help me out, lady.
I don't know.
The lack of knowledge. The lack. Okay, so when you have lack, that means you are misinformed, right?
Yeah.
You
so
can
that's
get
why
some-
I said read the
no,
plan.
no.
Read it. Reading is fundamental.
But look, again, lack of knowledge. Where did it come from?
Came from the world. Never mind.
See, there you go. There you go. Lack of knowledge.
It came from the man.
We suffer. No. We suffer from the lack of what? Knowledge. Where did it come from? It came from a nonprofit called the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation is in what scale of any type of government agency? Where are they? They way over there. They nowhere.
That's it.
They nowhere. They nowhere and nowhere. All they do is come together and they say, let's think of something. What if? Man, this would be nice if this happened. That's all they are, is a think tank. Who listens to this particular think tank?
Politicians.
Find out who follow the damn money. Follow
the politicians.
Hold on. You can't say just the politicians.
I can't say exactly who.
No, because if you can't find anyone that's a politician that gives these jokers the money, then you can't say it. I said follow the money. Find out where the money going, then you'll find out. But other than that, they're just a bunch of talking heads. No, it's just a bunch of talking heads that ain't got no pull. Okay? That's it. See, everybody worried about the boogeyman. But again, it's the lack of knowledge is what we suffer from. We got a lot of knowledge around. We don't intake a lot of it, so we lack. It's just like lacking the right information, right? Y'all talking about it came from here. Again, do your due diligence to find out where it came from instead of listening to these talking heads. It came from here. And then you regurgitate. Find out where it came from first. Because then we'll be standing out looking at you like, what's she talking about? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes
but they still gonna make that a thing.
Who was they?
The government.
Again,
DC government has made that an actual law.
Again.
DC government has made that a law.
Again. When it's on,
I don't know if it's going to be federal.
See, if it's on paper, got to be on paper. But this 2025 ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Okay? Again, it's speculatory.
Let's see.
But we know where it came from. A think tank all day long came from a think tank. Got nothing to do with the political party. They suggest what they want folks to do. But no, let's push the boogeyman out the way and deal with facts. Okay?
Well, the facts is
we gotta deal with the facts. Okay?
No, but the fact is that DC is trying to do that. DC is
that'll be a horrible law to punish people that are homeless.
Because remember the homeless population, and they're offering programs for those people, and the people are not following those.
What are programs?
The programs is the ERAP and Rapid Housing and HUD.
You know how they're offering it to them? I thought you had to qualify.
No, they have offered it to those people.
Really?
Yes. And some of the people are not taking it. And then there's other things that's going on. But I know that specifically, that point, that's something they are offering. They are literally putting into whoops. That's something they're putting into effect. But I'm not sure if they're gonna make it a federal thing. I know it's gonna be DC state thing.
Remember, we're gonna deal with facts. That's where we are all thrown off anyway. We gotta deal with facts.
Well, we never know what facts are we getting because between the news, social media, and everything else, you don't know what.
So we gonna speak facts once we get through the whole thing and find out what's what. We don't want to get that wrong. We don't want to tell anybody off of this podcast. We won't give y'all nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing that we just like. Oh no. We want to give y'all the facts. And we want to make sure that everybody stay positive and don't think of the worst. We've been through the worst. And I mean,
no, we have not been through the worst.
We've been through
not in our generation. Not in our generation.
Hey, the trauma's in our blood. We've been through a lot. Okay.
Well, so yeah, we've been through a lot.
What we're trying to do is keep people in a positive mindset so they can think right, and then from them thinking right, they can make the right moves.
Yes.
Agreed. Yeah, so we ain't trying to get with all that spook stuff. Oh, it's this. Oh my God.
Well, no, it's not. No, it's
unless we start seeing them arrest homeless people and kicking them off the street, then we can say, yeah, these jokers, they tripping.
They've always been tripping, but we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there.
They always been tripping.
Yeah.
They've been on some other stuff ever since.
So we trying to come with some type of solutions, but I think all the stuff that we kind of talked about is some good stuff to kind of think about when we are trying to do something together as family. You got a family member over here, got the best talent in the world, but just can't make that talent come to life. But they got an auntie that got a license, that been through that. Why you can't turn back around and say, okay, you good with your hands, let me show you. It'll be better that the auntie show her than her trying to get up and go to a school and they missing it. Where the auntie can prepare her a little bit better, and then she'll, be able to get through
and get the license quicker.
Yeah. Well, even going through the program, she'll still have
somebody to help. But that's the thing. That's why part of the association, the Association for Black Social Workers, which I'm a part of, that's what they teach. They're actually teaching the elders are actually teaching the youngers, especially the college students or graduate students, how social work works and just getting that.
I feel you on that one, but we talk about the family.
No, hold on.
Talk about the family.
Before you start like.
I feel what you're saying. Let's talk about the family.
We are. I'm gonna get back to that. Give me a second.
Because you know what? You're gonna throw in some big words.
I'm not gonna throw any big words. I'm not throwing any big words. So it's a symbol of mentorship.
I'm just messing with you.
And they teach and the idea of it is to keep teaching.
Right.
Down.
So
keep teaching down. Each one teach one.
Okay.
We teach each other how to do the work so we get better at the work and help in our communities.
So how can we get auntie to understand what she knows she need to teach one of her nieces?
Those are one of those things that when you ask for help, that's for it goes both ways.
Who's asking?
So the person who's learning the craft.
Well, hold on. Don't you think that auntie got more of a responsibility than the youngin?
It goes both ways.
No. Again,
sometimes,
don't you think? Hold on. Don't you think auntie, being the elder, has more responsibility because she is past the age of 25, which they have already proven that your frontal cortex is not developed
until you're 25.
Auntie has the sheer responsibility to either give it a chance or say something to say, hey, let me show you.
So you would think it would be the responsibility of the elders to teach.
Yes.
You
just mentioned it.
Yes.
Each one.
But also, it's the responsibility of the one who's receiving the information to listen.
Again, she's
listen.
She's young. She doesn't have that complex brain. It's for the teacher
also to listen as well. It goes both ways.
But again, that elder is supposed to reach out to the youngin, get them to understand they know better. They can show them and to draw that picture. If you ain't here,
Oh, no.
you're gonna be here.
But that's why it's important for
Mhm.
the elder to teach, but also the youngin to listen.
But listening is nothing that you just grow up with.
Listening
It's not automatic.
No, that's something that's
got
supposed
so
to
many-
be taught.
you
It's
got
supposed
so
to be
many-
taught to us when we're young, when we're
Okay.
babies.
Okay.
But as we get older,
Mhm.
it's supposed to be already embedded in
What
us,
if we
but
have?
it's not.
Okay. So great. So now Auntie has that role that she needs to play.
And it's up to the student to listen. If she tries to teach and
Okay.
they don't listen, she
I
has reached out.
I deal with this with my daughter all the time because she's a teacher, right?
Yes.
The thing that matters is how the approach happens. Remember, she just told you about that.
Yeah,
little
she told
kid?
me about the little kid.
Little kid came in whining and screaming or whatever, and she said, "Hold on, you ain't gonna have that in my classroom."
No, not today. Yeah.
No, not today. And then afterwards, what was the kid doing?
He fell right in line.
So she's the auntie. She had full
control.
But listen, you going by, they need to listen. What did auntie do?
Auntie had control, and she geared them in the right direction. But
it wasn't a two-way street. It wasn't
a
two-way street. No, it wasn't a two-way street.
Yes, because he could have chose to do something different.
No. What did she find out about that kid in order to turn everything around?
She got to his level.
How did she get to that level?
She adjusted to what he needed. She literally just adjusted. That's
she made his concerns valid.
People don't.
It's that Jedi mind trick. She made his concerns valid enough that he was willing to listen. Right?
Yes.
Because you don't play that song. Don't play on that radio at home, so it ain't gonna play here, right? Yeah, you right. So she made his concerns valid. Auntie has a job to make the niece's concerns valid. And the way that she does it is she plucks the niece's brain. What you want to do? I want to have my hair did. I want to do this. I want to do that. How you going to get there? Nah, you ain't going to get there that way. This is how you going to get there. And convince, this is how you going to get there. With her influence and her figuring out what that child needs, she's going to convince that child, this is the way you need to go.
Yes, but
this is the value of you. Now you listen, and now this
but
is where you go.
This is where it differs.
So you always on that negative.
No. I'm saying this is where it differs.
Where does it differ?
It differs when you're dealing with a child versus a young adult. Because you're talking, so when I'm thinking of each one teach one,
mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of an elder, meaning like you said, somebody over 30, 35 teaching somebody in their 20s, or
mm-hmm.
somebody in their 40s teaching somebody in their 30s. It's up to that individual because they already learned how to listen. They already know the complex
mm-hmm.
of, you need, or if you want to get somewhere, you probably want to listen to this person to get you there because they already been there, done that.
Okay.
Now, if you're talking about a child, it's a different story.
Not even that, because you know
why? A child, you're gonna have to convince that child. An adult, you don't need to convince.
Hold on. Here's the thing. Everybody and their mama got needs and wants. Everybody got something in their mind where they see themselves. Whether they see themselves in the dump, in the dirt, and they don't care about themselves, or they got something deep inside that they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go all the way down to, I'm just hungry, I want something to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can say, that's all they want. You get to the core of what they want, and now, at the core of what they want, you reach now at that core of what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And you deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Once you deliver, that's it. Now they're gonna do what it takes to get that every time, because now someone has shown them this is how you get what you need.
Yes.
So they have answered the problem. They answered what they needed, and that goes for anybody. You say, "Oh, well, I kept doing this. I kept doing," because you ain't get them what they needed. Well, I kept talking to them. Because you still ain't give them what they needed. Once you answer that need, for sure, it's
They'll
like
get it and then
it's
move
gonna happen.
forward.
It's gonna happen. So I don't care if they're a little kid. I don't care if they're a young adult. I don't care if they're an older adult. If you give them the solution to their problem, and at the same time giving them the solution to their problem, hear them out, I bet you 9 times out of 10, they're gonna get it done. They're gonna follow suit. Especially when you give them value. You don't devalue them, you give them value. You give them a chance to them, show the other person, show you how great they are.
Yes.
You see how she ain't down to do?
No, she didn't.
Oh, we ain't gonna have that. But I know you.
No, we ain't gonna do that. But we know better. You know better that you can do
this.
Because
that don't play at home.
It don't.
So now you come here and show me what you got. So what we can do is do the same for all of our folks. Build that value. Remember when Mike was talking about the what's the name? Right? And you say, well, I don't feel, and he kept pouring in that value and building you up.
Yeah.
What happened?
You made it.
Hallelujah. Holla back. It works.
It works.
Right.
But that's the thing. That's why I said that's where that teach one. You mentioned about the auntie.
Right.
You know, reaching out.
But it is also the auntie's responsibility to reach back, give them what they need, and bring them up. Right?
Yes.
If we had all aunties, all uncles, all brothers and sisters, cousins and nieces and nephews do the same.
Reach out and bring them up.
That's how we can build
that's
that.
If the person wants to do
again, because that's almost just like saying
that if the person.
Hold on, I know your argument. Here's her argument. Here's her argument. Her argument is, well, we can't make them not do drugs.
Exactly.
That's her argument all day long.
You can't make them. It's free will.
You know what? How many people have actually gone to interventions and got off drugs? How many people
you want to know the answer to that one?
Hold on. And how many people have had life-changing incidents that got them off drugs? How many people have just listened to someone, got them off of drugs? So you can't say that they are lost cause because
I'm not saying
they only do it if they want to.
No, I'm not saying it's a lost cause. I'm saying that people have free will. Again,
there's still hope that you can turn those situations around.
Yes.
Right? So, I'm not going to use that. Only if they want to. You can bring it up out of.
You can't make them, though.
It's possible. You say you can't make, but I think
you can't make anybody do
other
anything
ways
they don't want to do, because that's the thing.
It's other ways to help them get there. That's why we're in the job that we're in. Because if we're not in the job that we're in, you should not do what you're going to do. Because your job is to make them do what they don't want to do. Make them see the reality and find other ways to get them to understand.
I find other ways to prevent, especially when if you talk about those things, you find other ways to try to deteriorate.
So the same difference. Auntie gonna have a different way. She gonna have different ways. Like my ways of correcting, people may be a little extreme. I take them on field trips. I have them see dead bodies.
Oh God.
I do those type of things. So it may be unorthodox, but this is where you're gonna be. If you don't straighten up, this is where you're gonna be. Do you like that? Put your hand right there. That's you. Feel that. That's you. If you don't straighten up, that is you. So you find unorthodox ways to make it happen, right? So that means there's a possibility that you can make someone do what they don't want to do. Is what you put inside of them, is what the value that you bring out of them that they say, oh, damn, you're right. I don't ever want to be hungry again. But now you're teaching me how not to be hungry again. Shit, I don't like that. Having a fucking empty stomach. Now I'm going to listen. I'm going to see what that's about. I'm going to see how to get that. Because if I really want it, I really do want it. Some have to come to grips with, why am I doing this shit to myself? Maybe it's depression. Maybe it's like I don't have no will to live because of such and such. A lot of people go through that when death happens. When someone close to them die, I don't want to live no more. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm gone.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
that's that grief. We call that. It's
grief.
Stages of
Yeah.
grief.
I
That's
don't want to
that. I
live
don't
no
want to.
more.
That's
I'd
that.
rather die.
The first part of grief. Yeah.
So our job is to show them a million other things why they should live.
Why they should live. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
And-
that's what we, you know.
And to take
talk.
the onus off of them of being selfish. You're a selfish ass motherfucker. You
You're
are.
not selfish.
Because if that person was still here, what do you think they'd do to you? You better get yourself together. You ain't gonna do that because of me.
Why?
How dare you? That's what it would be. How dare you
Like,
do
why?
that? Yeah. Oh man, I did this because you. What? That sounds stupid. So I'm gonna just drink myself to oblivion. I'm gonna just smoke because I'm so upset.
Yeah.
Imagine them being right there with you. They will smack the taste out of your mouth. Because they're like, why would you put yourself through that because I'm gone?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What do you think I want for you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to sit here and drink yourself to death. I want you to have the best out of life and do what you can in life. So now is to rewind, rewrite those things in your brain for that to happen. But like I said, auntie, uncle, cousin, they bear responsibility, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that responsibility, yeah, they may not get it right all the time, but it is their responsibility to be like, hold on, come here, youngin, you know? Oh no, he at it again, he bad. Somebody in the family need to go grab that ass and be like, come here, come here. Because
they don't. It's not done very often.
Right,
it's not that. It needs to be done often,
family,
but they don't do it often.
When we're talking family,
yes, it's not done very often because it's don't do this, don't do that, and you can't do this because that's that person's. And people don't want to deal with that anymore. You know, so,
but they would rather deal with the negative after effects.
Yes, they would rather deal with the negative after effects than to be the person to prevent.
Right. So we got to work on prevention.
Mm-hmm.
Got to work on a lot of prevention.
Don't wait until the situation is out of control, then you want to reach for help.
Right. So prevention and definitely prevention. A lot of prevention, and then be stewards or better stewards. You know, what was good for the goose is damn sure not good for the gibbon now.
No, sir.
These kids are ultra sensitive. Too sensitive.
So that was one of the things that I also learned when I was in Ghana too. Mm-hmm. Their aunties and elders and sister and all of that. I remember seeing a little kid who ran out in front of what was running back and forth across the road, playing. You know how y'all used to, playing in traffic. We used to do the same thing too. So nothing has changed, and they would run across, and the bus was coming. We was on the bus, and the kid ran across, and then ran back across, and then he ran across. Older brother, I think no more than like maybe 4 or 5 years older, yanked him up and spanked him really good because he ran across it. So, and he didn't fight back. He didn't yell back or anything. So their version of like elders, like you said, you talk about that prevention. The elders are taking, reaching out, like you said, and they're holding, holding each other.
But I was saying in the beginning is that the one thing that we're going to have to realize and understand is that, we want to reach everybody, but there's going to be strict consequences to it. And the strict consequences is going to be a life for a life. It's going to be just that simple. Those are the quick consequences. There's no different than when gangs do the same thing. It's going to have to be the same thing, But when does it stop? It has to be stricter rules, I'm sure of it, to make, those things stop. But I mean, in the area that you have such high killings, you definitely got to crack down.
Well, and
you can't be mad about it. You just got to crack down. You got to crack down where you say, okay, if the parents are at work, they can't do nothing about it, and these kids are running wild, you're going to have to crack down on it.
Yeah, or you can't blame the parents if the parents are at work because
That's what
they
I'm saying.
have to work,
Right.
and then you can't. The streets are always going to be streets, and then you always got the knuckleheads who are always going to be the knuckleheads because they were in the streets as well, and they just
Right.
didn't do anything. So it's nothing that's like, I mean, no matter how many programs that any state or counties can put into place, there's always still going to be that group of people. And it's like, how do the family come together to keep the babies off the streets?
Well, they just gonna have to go to the next person in line. You know, go to the next person in line. If the mom can't do it, the daddy can't do it, the uncle, the other uncle, you gotta go down the line. Somebody got to
Because it used to be
there.
the grandparents, because the grandparents were retired.
We ain't got that no more.
We don't have it. Grandparents are actually working.
or deceased.
Or deceased.
So
right.
Since we don't have that no more, somebody got to be in line. Somebody out the family got to be in line to take that job. That's why I said the cog in the wheel. Somebody got to take that lane. Somebody. You can't just let it be like, okay, yeah, they just gonna do what they do. If you can, somebody in the line they got to. It ain't up to them no more. They have to. You know.
Yeah.
So then the other thing is, okay, you just gotta cut your losses. If you know you ain't gonna stand there, you know the other family members ain't gonna stand there. You just waiting to put his ass on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's all y'all doing is just waiting to put him on the t-shirt. But if nobody's gonna stand there, on both sides, because you got a father and a mother, you can't say that the whole damn tree is bad. Somebody in that line,
somebody in there got to be doing.
But they throwing their hands up, talking about, "Oh, I don't want to deal with them." Who want to deal with them?
Because nobody really wants to deal with things like that, because the mama might get mad or the father get mad and be like, "Don't touch it," or "Don't do this and don't do that."
Hey.
That's the way I'm raising my child. So you got to deal with those.
Yeah,
aspects.
But when you start thinking about the future, we start thinking about the future, you like, man, what is going to happen with the future of these kids? You feel me?
Yeah.
Because then they're going to become adults. What type of adults they going to be?
Yeah.
What type of adults they going to be?
Yeah.
You like, I remember they was little and they was going through this. Now they're adult. Now what type of adult they going to be? So we got to look at that,
Yeah.
But we done said enough.
I know, it's already 12:49.
Yeah, so
about to be 1 o'clock in the morning,
we're
y'all.
gonna cut this video up.
Yes.
And repost it.
Yep.
But we back, man. So the Family Biz is back. So y'all
I
may
know,
catch,
we did it together. I said we was gonna do it.
Catch some more of us going live on our new YouTube channel, on Facebook. So we're going to take this and kind of cut it up. It's going to be on Dad Talk Podcast, but we're going to subtitle the Family Business on YouTube. And we're going to cut that video up, remix it, cut it down a little bit, just go to our good points, you know, cut out the filler, make it a decent video. But
of course.
Yeah, so again, just something to grow on, just something to think about is how can we build a family business together, whether it's passing something down to our kids to do, whether it's convincing our kids to build a business.
Helping each other.
Yep, helping each other in business, So if I have a nonprofit teaching kids, and then Cuzzo is a psychiatrist that works with kids with addiction or parents with addiction, the whole nine, then we need to cross. What is that called when you do business that way? What is that called? Come on, Cuzzo.
I wouldn't say consulting, but it'd be a little bit of
so
consulting.
We're going to mix.
Yeah, it's like crossover, crossing over.
Yeah, so we're going to help each other out. Right.
Yeah. It'll be one of those things.
So that's the plan. The bigger picture is to get these kids out there and give them experiences. Let them experience different things in life, you know. And by doing that, is just educating them, you know. Take them to things that you would normally do. Start looking into that so you can build a better 2.0 of you because they got to live in this world, you know, past the time that we passed. They still got to live in this world. And at the same time, we got to live in this world together. But what can we do to make it better for our family in the event that all hell break loose? You know, we talked about when I was down and sick.
Yeah.
I ain't had no money coming in. Sickness.
If there's ever a time where we end up back in the same pandemic, epidemic situations, those type of things.
Yeah.
So, yes.
What will you do? Do you have enough in your pocket in your bank account? Or can you actually reach real assets that you have bought when you were healthy that you could sell off?
Yep.
And help you live, you know? So those are things. Make sure more assets. Cuzzo said you drive your car off the lot, it depreciates. It ain't worth nothing.
I didn't say it wasn't worth nothing. I said the value of it goes down.
The value goes down.
Yes.
You know, but I put me some 5-star joints. I put some 100 spokes on that joint.
Except if you guys purchase a classic car, and then that classic car got a antique and somewhere. You know. And then after it's like antique cars, then the value goes up. But I don't know. Like I'm into classic. I like classic cars because I know all of that, and I seen the value go up since I seen some that end up in the 100,000s and all of that for them classic 1960s and the Mustangs and things like that.
Chrissy said we've been up all night. Chrissy said y'all got to go.
We got to go.
Graduate tomorrow.
Today.
So what is it? It's today already?
Yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock.
We ain't even paying attention. We just running our mouth.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things.
Michael. I just see Michael.
Okay.
Michael.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that come with building that and getting over that. So a lot of mental stuff, and a lot of things you have to kind of take into consideration. But in the end, will it be well worth it? If you can build something with your family, and make sure that it's something that can't nobody take away from you. You build with your family. Y'all put some money together. Y'all buy a house, y'all buy some land, some real assets together that they can't take away.
Exactly.
So make sure that you can buy some piece of earth that you put your foot on and say, this is mine.
Exactly.
Make sure you can buy a property that you can say free and clear is mine. Not is mine and I'm paying on it. No, not that.
Free and clear.
Make sure. So get into tax sales, and I'm going to reiterate, tax sales with Miss Tiffany Make It Happen, Tayus, that's the tax sale lady. She is the tax sale guru. I mentioned something about getting into investments. I said
the two gentlemen,
Santo Butler and Rob Chavez.
Yes.
I know Rob does some higher end investing with real estate, also with planning. Santo, I know that we talked about the stock market before. I don't know how deep he is, but this dude is a whiz. So, hey, he probably know it all, But get with him, talk to him, pick his brain, see what he know, and that will help you to invest. Two things that I dropped was when you do invest in these two stocks. One is called Microvision. The other one is called Energy Transfer. Two stocks you want to buy. Microvision is performing very low, so they're affordable. $1. It was like 98 cents the other day. But there's a technology stock that's about to boom. Everybody want to drive in cars that autonomous. That's the way to go.
That's the way to go.
Yep. So those two stocks, I could bet everything on that's going to come up later, and you're going to thank me for it. You buy 1,000 shares of that stock, and what if they hit like Google? What if they hit like Apple at one point?
Yeah, because Apple, if everybody
Matter
knew
of
what
fact-
they knew about Apple and Mac,
Right.
I mean,
Matter
you
of
all
fact,
would have been rich.
I'm gonna give you one more. What if they hit like your favorite food place, Chipotle? Go see what Chipotle is trading for per stock. I think they're up to like 42.
I don't
40,
know. I don't deal with
400,
stocks, so
4,000 something.
I
I
don't
think
gamble.
probably like 30. It's not a gamble. It's a
No,
for sure
but
thing.
still.
But they got 5 stocks. Berkshire is number one. They had like $8,200 per stock. That's a lot of damn money.
That is.
So if you look at AutoZone and Chipotle, they up there. A lot of money. So think about this. You buy 1,000 stocks of that Microvision, 2026 come up, and everybody got them cars running, and now your stock is up to what? Let's give it 3,200.
Yeah.
You just bought 1,000 of them and you sat on them. Anybody with a calculator? How much is that?
I don't feel like doing the calculation.
Come on now, you are a millionaire. You're a new millionaire. So sit on that. All right. So those are the 2 things and stocks that I'm giving you. But other than that, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, bringing some good words to this podcast.
Yes.
And check this out. Let's see how much we can get. If we get 6,000, we can get Charleston White on this guy.
Good luck.
So we're gonna make sure that we're gonna do a big this year. Get some exciting people.
Get some exciting people on. Talking to some great people. More adventures to come.
Yep.
This ain't gonna be the last time you see us together in the flesh.
Yep. And again, if you are looking for some good books that you have not discovered yet, Sims Books Publishing Corporation has a nice lineup of books.
A great
Go ahead
library.
and read these classics. We have a lot of classics on there, and you will not be what's that? What's the word for it?
You won't be disappointed.
There you go, disappointed.
You would not be disappointed, not by a long shot.
Not be disappointed.
A lot of those books, I was very, very surprised in just reading just a few of them. So it's definitely something.
So we got some quality reads there,
Yeah.
So can a brother gee? Okay, so we're gonna call it a night, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna call it a night. And thank y'all. So we'll be on another time. We just got to set the schedule, but this is part 1 of us coming back full force.
I kept saying, "Was this part 1?"
The family business. I mean, it's part 1 again. We
we already did part 1. Was this like part 2 of part 3 or something?
Yep. So we doing that. So we might have some more people back on the podcast like we had before. So we're just saying we're gonna see what's going on, but until then, we'll holler at y'all later.
Nice.
And thank you, y'all YouTube family, for chiming in. We have like a couple of people chiming in. Thank y'all over there in YouTube land. Yes. Thank y'all and Facebook for chiming in. Always showing love. Until next time, we will. See y'all later. You got anything else to say?
Nope, that is it.
You said 9 for wine, 10 for 10, what?
No, I didn't. Good night, everyone. Good night.
All right, have a good night. Save it. You gotta save it. You gotta save it. You gotta save it.
Where's the save?
You're looking down there. Look right there.
Where?
Hold on, it's around there. Go over here. You don't see the save button?
Mm-mm.
I think it was on that side.
End stream.
Okay, what is
Stream
it?
will stop immediately and you will no longer be live.
Okay.